Atlanta Bash. Next Friday and Saturday on Peachtree TV. Sponsored locally by these sponsors.
Wake Up Atlanta from 7 to 9 on Peachtree TV.
It's First Alert traffic when you need it.
It's First Alert forecast to help you plan ahead.
And all the Atlanta news you need to help you plan your day.
Wake Up Atlanta from 7 to 9 only on Peachtree TV.
Hurry in and see why more people are switching to Ram than ever before. Ram, built to serve. Now during the Ram, make this the summer event with 0% financing for 72 months. Get an average $13,375 in finance savings on the 2022 Ram 1500.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
When we shed artificial expectations and choose a simple path, we feel free. Siggy's Skyr, full of protein, less ingredients, less sugar. Less sets you free.
Come on! Saving at the pump can be a pain. Skip the pin pad and save. Pay from your phone. And with BP Me Rewards, you can instantly get 5 cents off every gallon. Every time.
Your friends are still building sandcastles, but you've already booked a hot air balloon foliage tour. Bold move for some, another day in the fall for you. Fall hard with a $3 medium pumpkin cream cold brew. America runs on Dunkin'.
Not all accidents happen on busy Atlanta freeways. They happen in quiet neighborhoods, like yours. No matter where your accident happened, we're here to help. We'll come to you, make sure you're getting the right medical care, and fight to get you every dollar you deserve. Wherever you are, we are. That's the upper hand. That's the strong arm.
Hurry in and see why more people are switching to Ram than ever before. Ram, built to serve. Now during the Ram, make this the summer event with 0% financing for 72 months. Get an average $13,375 in finance savings on the 2022 Ram 1500.
Welcome to the Tailgate Show, brought to you by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. We are here in the eye of the storm of Mercedes-Benz Stadium with our offensive and defensive player of the game. We're going to start with the offense. We've got Julian Walters. He had 18 carries, 146 yards, and a touchdown. I thought overall you guys ran the ball really well today, established that. Talk about it.
Our O-line first. I just want to thank our O-line. They were able to get a good push up front, and it just led to us having a good momentum and to be able to move the ball down the field.
And then we'll go to the defensive side, but Caden, you did a little offense too. You scored the rushing touchdown. I think you had 8 carries, but let's talk about that defensive line. You guys had the big goal line stand, the 99-yard drive. Just talk about how you guys were able to establish yourselves in the trenches.
Well, the practice, how we practiced real hard. We knew they had a fast tempo offense, but I think it was well coached, and the defense got after it, all 4 quarters.
When we talked to Coach Stewart before the game, he said he wanted you guys to come out here and have fun. It's just the first week of the season. Just talk about the team effort, the energy, and what you guys brought today.
Just everybody bringing it along, everybody putting 100% effort in. I just want to thank them and the coaches, and it was a well-fought win today.
Absolutely. All right, well, there you have it, our offensive and defensive players of the game. Now we're going to go to the MVP of today's game, quarterback Ryan Hall. So talk about this big performance into the spotlight. Just a sophomore, you're able to have the big runs, the touchdowns. Just what a special day.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, I didn't expect to be starting 2 months ago. I didn't know I was going to start, but, you know, my offense, my seniors, my upperclassmen, they helped me through. They really gave me confidence, knowing that they'll be there for me, and I think they're the ones that made this happen.
And it's a really great team effort. We talked about the goal line stand at the 1-yard line. Then you guys go 99 yards the other way to get in front. What that kind of message send to your sideline?
that we're here. Like we're never gonna let up, no matter what. We can be anywhere on the field, and we'll still push through.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. I think you guys play Archer next, is that right? All right, Archer next Friday. That'll be a good one. Right now, we're going to go to Randy and Dave Hunter for the presentation.
On behalf of GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com and the Hunter family, we want to award you the Robbie Hunter MVP Award.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Well done. Well, there you have it. Game 1 is in the books. We'll be back on the other side.
Dang, where you get this car?
You need to join the union.
The union?
Absolutely. Yes, you can get 10 of these.
Union construction workers earn the highest wages with the best benefits and the most protection in the construction industry. Find your career in construction. Go to GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com and start your future today.
For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
Your athletes put in the work that leads to success. But peak performance takes more. It takes a surface that works as hard as they do. One that allows them to train effectively and safely, so that when the lights come on, they're ready to win. You bring the vision, we'll bring it to life. Sports Turf.
Thinking about what to do after high school? How about jumping directly into your future? The 22 colleges of the Technical College System of Georgia offer more than 600 programs to prepare students for the real world. From business to healthcare to professional and technical services, our graduates go straight into a career. And tuition? Surprisingly affordable. At TCSG, you will succeed sooner. Apply today at succeedsooner.com.
Welcome back to the Tailgate Show presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I'm Kaylee Mansell, and here I have with me Dr. Levingood, an orthopedic surgeon at Northside Hospital. Now, before the game, you got to tell me that you were the team doctor for both Brookwood and Norcross. Tell me about those experiences.
Well, I take care of about 8 different high schools in Gwinnett County. I've been the team doctor for Brookwood for about 26 years. I've been the team doctor for Norcross for about 12 years. During that time, they've won about 6 or 7 state championships between them, so it's been quite a ride.
With so many schools to cover, what are some of the more common sports-related injuries that you've seen?
Well, we see the gamut. Most of them are, ankle sprains. We get an occasional anterior cruciate ligament tear. We get some shoulder dislocations. So it's pretty much a little bit of everything, but we usually can take care of the kids, get them back.
Now, what are some of your better tips to prevent injury?
Well, I think the biggest thing for any athlete is to make sure that he's in good shape before he starts to perform, that he stays hydrated throughout, and that he does plenty of strengthening and stretching.
Now, with school starting back, do you have any advice for teachers or students to stay in good physical health?
Well, I think that as hot as it is, going in and out, you need to make sure you stay hydrated. That's probably more than anything else. And then if they're going to exercise, make sure they pick a part of the day where it's not just terribly hot.
Well, Dr. Levingood, thank you so much for your time. Now it's time for you to get down there and make sure those players stay safe. We thank you for your time, and we will be back with more after the break.
Thank you.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky Kell Classic is sponsored by Georgia High School Football Daily, your best free coverage of Georgia high school football. McDonald's, brought to you by Greater Atlanta Area McDonald's. Download the app for great deals. Ingles, low prices, love the savings. And by the U.S. Army, earn up to a $50,000 bonus.
Back again, huh? You must love losing.
You're buying the next one.
You gotta win one first.
Okay.
Mix and match your 2 favorites for $3.29 at any size soft drink for $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Roots and wings.
Think it's this way.
The two greatest gifts any parent can give their kid.
Oh, this is nice.
Of course, then there are groceries, laundry detergent, notebook paper, ironing instructions.
You know how to use this right.
Yes, ma'am. And futons that assemble with parts left over. At Ingalls, we know that life's biggest steps are best taken with faith and trust in the ones you love the most.
Knock 'em dead.
Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Get ready to go, because the giant Rooms to Go Labor Day sale starts right now. Hurry in for exciting Labor Day savings on living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, and more. Plus, to make buying easier, there's 60-month interest-free financing with low monthly payments starting at $15 a month. So let's go. Get great-looking living rooms, beautiful bedrooms, stylish dining rooms. Save big and get 60-month interest-free financing now at the Rooms to Go Labor Day sale.
Tahini it.
Tahini is a delicious combination of mild chili peppers, lime, and sea salt.
Tahini it, Mom. Yeah, tahini.
Make anything bueno more bueno. Tahini it.
Back again, huh? You must love losing.
You're buying the next one.
You gotta win one first.
Okay.
Mix and match your two favorites for $3.29 at any size soft drink for $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Again, welcome back to the Tailgate Show presented by Georgia Construction Careers.com. I'm Kaylee Mansell with John Floyd of Painters Local DC 77. John, on a day-to-day basis, what does your job entail?
My day-to-day basis is representing union members throughout our council. That includes Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee. We represent a wide range of painters, drywall finishers, glazers, and industrial and commercial painters.
Now, from what I understand, you guys do have an apprenticeship program. What does that look like, and what kind of qualities do you look for in an apprentice?
We look for any man or woman to come in young, hungry, want to learn the trade, willing to travel, and looking to take initiative to the trade and build a nice career out of it.
Well, talking about initiative to the trade, what was your initiative into getting into all of this?
Well, my initiative to getting into all of this, I was one of those kids out there on that football field. I didn't go to college. I went to a Job Corps. And once I left Job Corps, I've been doing this trade ever since. You know, it's been wonderful for me and my family and my career. And I'm just taking on this role to push our local and our council forward.
Now, I know you said you're based out of the Atlanta area. Do you take on a lot of projects in this area as well?
Yes, I do. Actually, I cover north and south of Georgia. That'll be Local 193 and South Georgia down into the southern region of Georgia, touching the Florida line.
Now, for those at home who want to know more, where do they go?
They can reach us at our website at www.iupatdc77.org.
Well, John, thank you so much, but we will be back with more football after the break.
Thank you.
Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trade union, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out against unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in the construction industry at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt. I got it, Mom.
It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Remember as a kid, if you could dream it, you could do it? Well, you still can. Now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. And with great offers on select Ford vehicles, you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So when the sun goes down, you'll just be getting started. Now get 2.9% financing for 72 months on a 2022 Ford F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
Are you the one others rally around? Inspire soldiers to follow your lead. Want to forge a better future? Start with the structures that support tomorrow's missions. You believe the best offense is a good defense. We've got a great way to prove that theory. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
Friday nights mean high school football in Georgia, but today the stars of those Friday nights take center stage at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on a Saturday afternoon as the Norcross Blue Devils take on the Brookwood Broncos. Hello, everybody. I'm Brandon Adams. Happy to have my partner from DogNation.com as my partner in the broadcast booth today, Jeff Sintel. And this venue where we're standing was once the site of a national championship game between Georgia and Alabama. And today, in kind of a recruiting sense, we see a rematch between the Dogs and the Tide. As Norcross, 8-4 a year ago, filled with offensive playmakers all across the board. But maybe one of the most important names to know is a UGA commit. It's the tight end Lawson Luggy. He's a legacy to UGA, and we're going to see a lot from him here today.
Yeah, it's funny, Brandon. You got me laughing a little bit with that Alabama-Georgia metaphor because Brookwood has the quarterback. That's Alabama, and Georgia has the guys that play in the trenches, play tight end, do a lot of that tough, rough, physical stuff. So that's a really good Alabama comparison. Alabama commit, that's the quarterback for Brookwood. Georgia commit, that's the tight end for Norcross.
Yeah, speaking of Alabama, that is the quarterback, Dylan Lonergan, for the Brookwood Broncos. This is a guy, top 10 consensus quarterback nationally, and we'll see why coming up here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to call him one of those rare dudes. He plays baseball. He can spot his ball at 93 miles an hour. He's also an Alabama commitment at quarterback. Had 3,200 yards passing, 32 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. You want to talk about a guy that makes things go. Brandon, if he has a typical 3,000-yard season this year, he'll go into the top 10 overall Georgia high school passers. He's thrown for 486 yards in a game. Tremendous high school quarterback.
Norcross and Brookwood, two teams know each other well. They've played 18 times in their history dating back to 1982. They've split them evenly 9-9. The next matchup comes up today. It's one of 4 great games here from Mercedes-Benz Stadium that we'll have throughout the day here on Peachtree TV. So stay with us. We've got the opening kickoff and an interview with the coaches coming up right after this.
Illegal use of hands and proper training.
GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com has 14 different highly skilled trades with free training in our certified apprenticeship programs to train you the right way. Find your career at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
The big seller was no student debt. That was a big thing for me. You work and make money while you're going to school. You learn on the job as well as in school. It's all around. You can't beat it. It's just a good feeling. It's you work with your hands. You did all that yourself, and it's paying off. And I'm not even through with school yet. You know, my career is just getting started. Looking back, it's a very incredible feeling.
Thinking about what to do after high school? How about jumping directly into your future? The 22 colleges of the Technical College System of Georgia offer more than 600 programs to prepare students for the real world. From business to healthcare to professional and technical services, our graduates go straight into a career. And tuition? Surprisingly affordable. At TCSG, you will succeed sooner. Apply today at succeedsooner.com.
Corky Kell Classic is presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today.
Welcome back, everybody. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the site of Game 2 of our 4-game quadruple header here from Mercedes-Benz, presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. You see the Brookwood Bronco banner there. Those Broncos players getting ready to run through that and taking on Norcross here coming up in just a couple of moments. Also, moments ago, I want to make sure you get a chance to see this. A very touching ceremony at the center of the field as the coin toss takes place. We do that before each and every game presented by Score Atlanta, but this one more significant than most. We told you about Lawson Lucky in our open. The UGA tight end commit, his brother Cannon, also on hand for this there as well, Jeff. A family that you know well. Cannon's story you know well too. And how nice is this to see them honored and that story projected here before we kick this game off?
Yeah, so really touching, really emotional. It means a lot if you know this family personally. You see Cannon Lucky down there. He suffers from Fox G1 syndrome, which is basically a chromosome deficit. Only 300 people in the United States actually have it. They refer to Cannon, can't really move, wheelchair bound, functionally blind, relies on his hearing, loves watching Barney videos on YouTube, but they refer to Cannon Lucky as the toughest Lucky. And one of the things he told me, Brandon, before the game is like, of everything he does in football, probably the most amazing special moment for him was getting the chance to wheel his 9-year-old brother Cannon out before the kick. And there's a lot of stats, there's a lot of big players, there's a lot of impressive athletes here. But Brandon, if that doesn't hit home, brother, I don't know what does. That moment for Lawson Lucky and his family is just really special today.
Yeah, that's an amazing story, Jeff, and you tell it well. And obviously the Lucky name is one that's resonated in the state of Georgia with UGA fans for quite some time. Lawson's father, Mike, is one of 3 Lucky triplets that played at Georgia. So this is a family that dates back with UGA for a long time. That last name has been well known amongst these UGA fans. And now the Cannon Lucky story gets the attention that it deserves, because certainly that's a courageous young man who is fighting in such a way that's inspirational, I think, for us all. Now, as far as the official particulars from the coin toss a moment ago, Brookwood did win the toss, deferring to the second half. So we'll have to wait at least to possession to see Dylan Lonergan, the Alabama committed quarterback, on the field for the Broncos. It'll be their defense on the field first. And you see Brookwood, those customary colors, and they've been such a huge part of the Corky Kell Classic for such a long time. Obviously, Dave Hunter, who won a state championship there in Snellville with the Broncos going back to 1996, and has been an instrumental leader in making this event what it is now. 4 days of football here, culminating in the quadruple hitter at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, but wouldn't quite be a Corky Kell Classic if you didn't have the Broncos in a big spot like we have here coming up against Norcross.
Yeah, one of the things Philip Jones, I believe it's his 7th season now at Brookwood, he says when you're at Brookwood, the connections to Dave Hunter and his basically guiding hand over this game, you almost take it for granted that you're going to get to play in the Corky Kell Classic, but it's something they take seriously. I know they're going to travel out to Las Vegas later this season for a big game, but you know, Brandon, I don't know who we did. I don't know if you use your vast powers of influence, brother, but I think we've got the very best game at the Corky Kell. You've got a dog in this game in Lawson Lucky, and my friend, I am ready for the call on this one.
You'll get no argument from me on that. Is game 2 of 4 from Mercedes-Benz Stadium today. Danny Elrod will kick it, and we are underway between Norcross and Brookwood, 2 teams with state championship pedigrees in their past, and an outstanding game on hand for you this afternoon. Kick return there. We'll get the Norcross Blue Devils in business. Antonio Mulder provides that. And we'll get our first look at the now junior quarterback for the Blue Devils, A.J. Watkins, coming onto the field. Won the job during the season last year as a sophomore and earning the trust of Coach Keith Malouf on the way. And he is loaded with offensive weapons around him. We may see a ton of firepower on both sides, and Watkins is going to help make it go. After 675 yards and 10 touchdowns passing a year ago, also had 6 rushing touchdowns too. And on 1st and 10, with the ball sitting around the 27-yard line, it's going to be a keeper. And still on his feet, knocked down finally at the 38-yard line for Watkins. So Watkins picks up 9 there on 1st down. You see how dangerous he can be with his legs.
Yeah, that's the thing for Norcross. They know they've got perimeter threats. We're going to get into them. There's a Georgia Tech commit. There's a Mississippi State commit. There's a Georgia commit. They're going to spread you out and make you make a decision about how you're going to defend A.J. Watkins in the box.
So they'll call it 10 and make it 1st down yardage for Watkins. This time it's a handoff. That's Ammons with a little bit of room to run. Ammons fights his way all the way to midfield. field. So another carry and more first down yardage for the Blue Devils. Let's take a look at these starting lineups now. For Norcross on offense, all 5 starters returning offensively, and a lot of size on that left side. Left tackle, Lapia, 6'3", 300 pounds. Watkins, we told you about. Lucky, we told you about in the open. And as Jeff said, keep your eye on number 6, Zion Taylor there as well. Georgia Tech commit at the receiver position. A guy that was at Parkview a year ago. Very dangerous playmaker in his own right. Watkins again will keep 46-yard line and down for him. And that'll bring up second down, the first second down of the day for the Blue Devils. And now let's take a look at Brookwood on defense.
One of the things to watch here with Watkins is Coach Maloof told us you can't go to the well too much with Watkins because you don't want to ride a 15-game season. So if you go to the well too much, it's going to be hardships later on with him getting dinged up.
Of course, our starting lineup is brought to you by Georgia's Rome Office of Tourism. And keep your eye on the middle of the field. Miles Parker, the nose man, not wearing number 0 today. He'll wear number 54. And Jeff will tell you why throughout the broadcast. A little bit of a number change for big guy in the middle, 320-pound nose tackle. So watch that closely throughout the day. Norcross looks at third down for the first time today. 3rd and 5, just underway here from Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yeah, looking at Brookwood, you're going to be really strong up the middle. Their front 7 is really strong. 2 great senior linebackers. But in the middle, you've got Miles Parker, number 54. Huge player on both sides of the ball for them.
Watkins is in the shotgun on 3rd down. It's a keeper again for him, and he's got first down room and more. 30-yard line, finally out of bounds, and Watkins has been incredibly dangerous with his legs to start this one today.
Yeah, this is going to set the tone early. You got the quarterback for Norcross pushing them down the field. The same thing for Brookwood. They're going to be led and driven by their quarterback. Watkins early, I believe he's got about 3 explosive runs now for about 22 yards. Again, Coach Maloof is going to try and spread things out and make their guys beat one-on-one coverage with this quarterback in the middle.
95 carries, 536 yards on the ground a year ago, picking up right where he left off in his junior season. Here's a handoff for Ammons. Ammons trying to find the right side, won't get there. Brought down near the line of scrimmage. First man through that time was Jordan Davenport, the linebacker.
And the thing you got to just look at here collectively is Norcross has so many threats. They've got the outside threats with the perimeter guys. Georgia Tech commit, Georgia commit, and also Mississippi State commit. But then you've got the back Ammons in the backfield that they like, and then you've got A.J. Watkins. Forces the defense to make crucial decisions. You can't take it all away, and that's what they're trying to have to do tonight.
So no gain on that. Makes 2nd and 10. We have not seen any of these pass-catching targets involved yet for Norcross. They haven't needed to. Look for a moment like he might throw, but instead going to run again. And once again, Davenport and a host of Broncos there to bring him down. They'll force 3rd down again now, this time with the ball on the 27-yard line.
One of the things when you look at the strength of the Brookwood team, Brandon, you look at the 2 middle backers in the middle. They've got really coming back guys. Malcolm McCain, Jordan Davenport, 2 guys that were anchors, senior leaders, led team in tackles, all county, all that stuff. Big games for them tonight.
SEC commits on both sides of the formation here on the left, with Lucky, the tight end, kind of flexed out, and Nakai Poole, the Mississippi State wide receiver. He's the very bottom of your screen wearing number 3. You see him at the bottom of the formation. So keep your eye on the left side here on 3rd and 7. Stead throwing, middle of the field, and caught, and still on his feet down to the 5-yard line. Zion Taylor, the Georgia Tech commit, gets involved for the first time today.
Taylor was a guy last year, played at Parkview, but one of the things, he had 48 catches for 700 yards, 7 touchdowns a year ago per Parkview. Now he's doing it for Norcross. This is a big series of events here for Brookwood.
We're in the red zone now, presented by Northside Hospital. And it's a goal-to-go situation for the Blue Devils. First drive of the game. Here's Ammons. He's wrestled down around the 3. May have gotten a couple on that first down carry.
Keep talking about these guys in the middle for Brookwood. Number 3, Malcolm McCain, 6'1", 225. He is a Miami of Ohio commitment. Number 1, Jordan Davenport. He's a 4-year starter. These are the anchors of their defense behind big Miles Parker, number 54 in the middle. All of a sudden, this red zone stuff with all of these threats, this is where Norcross gets very interesting and very hard to stop.
First drive of the game still ongoing for Norcross, looking at a 2nd and goal situation. Straight ahead as the quarterback. He got rocked hard near the goal line. You thought for a minute Watkins was going to get into the end zone, but Noah Holt was there to meet him and prevent that from taking place.
Yeah, McCain was in there on the play as well. He was an all-county pick, an all-Gwinnett County pick a year ago. And you see what's happening now. these yards are precious. The space is a lot more cramped, and it's a lot harder for Norcross to spread Brookwood out now.
Norcross has been good on third down thus far in this drive, but the biggest one is the one about to happen right now. Ammons is your running back. A little bit of movement up front, and that's enough to bring a flag. So let's see what happens after this. Who jumped first?
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
See the call there. A good time to get our game officials involved here. Presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety. Obviously, big venue means big officiating crew. Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We've certainly got an example of that here today. Appreciate Chris Moore being our referee, along with George Thomas, Antoine Stewart, Freddie Stewart, Byron Berryhill, and an entire collection of veterans, including Sheldon Miner, Todd Thomas, and Cheryl Stewart are there as well. Appreciate the Governor's Office of Highway Safety bringing that to us. And third down now from the 6-yard line, although still a goal-to-go situation for the Blue Devils. Throwing, end zone. Lucky is the target. He is there, and he has caught it for a touchdown. Lawson Lucky gets the Blue Devils on the board.
There you go, Brandon. One of the things is most Georgia folks, most people that follow the program really well, they think of Lucky as a bruiser, a baller, a bare-knuckle guy that's going to get his hand dirty at tight end. Actually, Brandon, the way he runs his route, the way he plays the game, he feels he's the best receiving tight end in America. He's going to make that play 10 times out of 10 in his mind. Look at him go get it. He had somebody on his back shoulder grabbing on his pad, still made the play.
Stop me if you've heard this before. An athletic playmaking tight end on his way to UGA. Seems like there's been a lot of that in recent years. Credit the position coach Todd Hartley, of course, for that. Extra point try by Drew Duva is good, and Norcross sends a message on the game's opening drive. Ground and pound into the red zone, and then Lawson Lucky becomes the target for the touchdown. And Brookwood gets its chance to respond with Dylan Lonergan at quarterback right after this. Glad to have you this afternoon on Peachtree TV.
There's a highway that stretches across the 93 days of summer, where worship isn't offered to the sun, but to the smoking tire, and where the lines being blurred are the ones between drivers and demons.
Sometimes it's the little victories that mean the most. Those everyday celebrations that bring a smile to our faces and joy to our hearts. At Ingalls, we know there's no one you'd rather share those miniature, memorable moments with than family. Ingalls, all the ingredients for family.
Mortgages are impossible. My application won't even go through.
First off, that's a calculator. Second, just use Chase My Home. You can apply there, calculate payments.
Hang on, I think I'm getting an email.
Still a calculator.
You're a calculator. You're great.
Search homes and loans in one place. Plus, guaranteed on-time closing or get $5,000. Chase, make more of what's yours.
There's a highway that stretches across the 93 days of summer, where worship isn't offered to the sun, but to the smoking tire, and where the lines being blurred are the ones between drivers and demons.
Honey, I'm taking your truck for the weekend. I got him!
Should we head back?
Nah, we got time for one more.
Quite a start for the Norcross Blue Devils. 7-0 game's opening drive. Chews up almost half the time in the first quarter. Results in a Lawson Lucky touchdown. Welcome in on Peachtree TV to game 2 of 4 today as part of the GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky Kell Classic. Brandon Adams, Jeff Centellier in the broadcast booth. Kaylee Manziel's got you down there in the host position. And of course, we'll see Matt Stewart, Rusty Manziel coming up later on for a doubleheader as soon as we're done. The Duva kickoff goes into the end zone. By rule in high school football, that is a touchback. And we'll see the Broncos on offense for the first time today. And Alabama quarterback commit Dylan Lonergan coming up as well.
You know, Brandon, one of the things, you sit there and you watch them going over and over with Watkins on that last series. What Norcross is trying to do is to limit Lonergan's possessions, limit Lonergan's chances to hurt them. And although that means overusing their own quarterback a lot at the helm, what they're doing is they're keeping a very talented Lonergan off the field.
Ground and pound tactics from the first drive certainly helped with that. Scoring summary here brought to you by Brady Pest Management. How about 11 plays, chewing up 73 yards, 5 minutes, 47 seconds of clock time. As you said before, Lucky the red zone target. That's the difference now, 7-0 Blue Devils, but Lonergan going to work. Throwing to running back out of the backfield. We'll see that a lot today. That's Jamal Prothrow getting a chance, but nice play defensively breaks that up. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
So we got a lot of stuff to talk about Lonergan here. His coach is calling Zonka because he has a tendency running his RPOs to just barrel his head down into defenders. He likes to run. Brandon, 645 yards rushing last year, 7.2 yards per carry on the ground.
Probably have to explain to him who the former Miami Dolphin Larry Zonka is with a nickname like that there as well. And by the way, speaking of Lonergan on the ground, and speaking of lowering the shoulder, he does that right on cue. You couldn't have timed that any better. Certainly fulfilling with pictures what Jeff Sindell was just talking about.
Maybe I might have known the first 2 or 3 calls on the play script, maybe not. But right there, you see right there, young folks, if you didn't know who Larry Zonka was, that's your visual definition right there. You're talking about a guy, power cleans 310, squats 500, and the strongest guy in power cleans on the team. He's a baseball pitcher that throws 93, and he's going to Alabama.
Chains move, 1st and 10 now. Lonergan will throw, finds his man. Not much doing that time for Miles Massengill, 5'10", 185-pound senior, with a 2nd down coming up. Nice job by Norcross keeping that where it was.
Massengill is the guy that was starting last year for Brookwood, got hurt in this game in the Corky Kell, missed 8 weeks, and now he's a senior. They're expecting a lot out of Massengill this year.
Brookwood lost his top 2 receivers from a year ago, so a little bit of a pass catcher by committee we may see some today. Handoff up the middle, room to run, and finally brought down. Nice carry that time by Cameron French, junior running back. Nice burst up the middle for him, and that's going to move the chains for Brookwood.
As we start to watch number 12 today, I thought Philip Jones, the Brookwood head coach, gave us a pretty good parallel. Everybody loves player parallels, right? He called out Andrew Luck. Timing, accuracy, puts the ball where it needs to be. Ball never hits the ground in practice.
Also deceptively mobile. People would have said about Luck, and that's, I think, probably true for Lonergan there as well. Running back carry this time for Jamal Prothrow, and this is sort of classic Brookwood football. You know, the introduction of Lonergan is a new direction of this program, but over the years, going back to when Dave Hunter was here, you think about big offensive linemen being able to run the football. That's what the Broncos have been famous for a long time, and that's reminiscent of kind of old school Brookwood football on that run by Prothrow. Coming up on 4 minutes in our first quarter. Keeper for Lonergan. Lost the football. Norcross thinks it has it. There's a wrestling match still ongoing, and the officiating signal here is that Lonergan was down. Antonio Mulder picked up the football and took off with it, and Norcross still thinks it forced the fumble, but I don't think the officiating crew is going to agree here. Let's see how this happens. So pulled out of the belly of Prothrow, and then a big hit.
That is out.
Devin Hunter delivers the hit. There's no question the ball is out. Okay, so yeah, the initial signal was that Lonergan was down, but now cooler heads have prevailed, and that is a turnover because great shot there on the replay. Clear as day, the ball, as forced out by Hunter, was clearly up for grabs, and that becomes Norcross football again after a big play by the Blue Devils defensively.
Antonio Mulder there on the pickup.
So Watkins going to move Lucky around a bit. Going to become more detached to the line of scrimmage almost and fully put his hand on the ground now. Running play for Ammons, but Miles Parker, who we told you about a moment ago, wearing 54 today, he's in there to make a big stop. How about 6'1", 320 pounds for the senior, and he had it all moving the same direction on that hit.
I'd probably say that the second best player overall on the Brookwood team is Miles Parker. He's about 6'1", 320. Brandon, I love this nickname. They call him Tonka.
Sure.
That's his nickname, Tonka. Very powerful. Everybody had that yellow dump truck growing up. That's why they call him Tonka. He plays football like that.
It's a great nickname. Those of us who grew up playing with the Tonka truck certainly love that. Throwing here, ooh, dangerous situation as Malcolm McCain, the Miami of Ohio commit, was closing fast. And brings up third down now. Ammons, the running back, was the intended receiver. You love the logo on the side of the Norcross helmets. Kind of a cool look.
Everybody's got it. Everybody's got something new to play in the Corky Kell at the Benz, right? You break out the good stuff for that one, for this premier high school kickoff event.
Arizona State, the Sun Devils, call that a forks up type look. I don't quite know how Norcross describes that, but gonna have to hurry. That football came loose. Watkins got hit from behind. That football came loose, and now Brookwood thinks it has it.
They do. Norcross got back on it.
Second on the play.
Yeah, so there you go.
That was the turnover Brookwood was looking for. A little bit of, you can do me, I can do you a little bit better, but Norcross came back with that.
Yeah, so Norcross able to get back on it, which is going to set up a fourth down situation and give them a chance to punt. But we've had back-to-back possessions where both these quarterbacks have sustained big hits and lost the football. And for Brookwood, it's not a turnover, but it'll get them off the field and give their offense a chance to come back here. Punt takes a big Blue Devil roll, and oh, nice save there. They're going to keep it in bounds. Yeah, they're going to preserve the ball before it becomes a touchback. And how about that? Special teams work by the Blue Devils, downing the ball really inside the one. So big break on special teams after a punt that went long. Looked like it might be rolling in the end zone, but then a big play kept that from happening. Nice work on special teams there.
Probably not exactly the way the special teams coaches at Norcross drew it up, but on the stat sheet, that looks like a great big special teams play.
That was Jonathan Mathis who saved that. We'll take a quick timeout and come back and show you Dylan Lonergan backed up in his own end zone right after this on Peachtree TV.
Remember as a kid, if you could dream it, you could do it? Well, you still can. Now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. And with great offers on select Ford vehicles, you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So when the sun goes down, you'll just be getting started. Now get 2.9% financing for 72 months on a 2022 Ford F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
The Georgia Sheet Metal JETC equips apprentices with the knowledge and skills required to start a rewarding career in the sheet metal industry with programs in HVAC, industrial welding, and testing, adjusting, and balancing. Training is 100% free and allows apprentices to earn as they learn. Journeymen graduate with no student debt and have the potential to earn more than most college graduates. Visit our website to learn more about this opportunity at careersinsheetmetal.com.
Today's enterprises are migrating to the cloud to keep pace with the adoption of digital transformation. In this enterprise of the future, DevSecOps will drive organizations to innovate, accelerate, and automate. Oracy provides expertise in automation, integration, and security tools, reducing waste and driving speed to profitability. With our world-class partnerships, we bring the right mix of people, process, and technology to your DevSecOps journey, from start to finish. Oracy.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky Kell Classic is sponsored by Sports Turf. You bring the vision, we'll bring it to life. Zaxby's, indescribably good chicken fingers and wings. The Technical College System of Georgia. Meaningful careers start here. Smart Local 85. Get your sheet together. And by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613, Atlanta's Electricians.
It's the GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky Kell Classic, the second of 4 games today from Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and the Brookwood fans having some fun here. The big board, this video board here in the stadium, kind of showing the two student sections back and forth, and they're having kind of a cheer off there. So the Brookwood folks having a great time with all that. 7-0 our score. Not quite as much fun for the Broncos now on offense after a pretty impressive play on special teams. Long punt, recovered inside the one. Brookwood
Defense,
backed up
5-yard
deep in its
penalty.
own territory here.
Still first down.
But they're going to get a little bit of help on a penalty there. And
I would call this Larry Zonka territory for sure, right? Put your head down and get some yards and get away from your back of your end zone right there.
Yeah, maybe an intentional hard count by Lonergan draws off the defender just to give them a little bit more room. And now they're going to be really bunched up at their formation here. Once again, being careful, knowing where they are on the field. Look at that formation. And just powering straight ahead again.
Yeah. This is a call he likes. Remember, we talked about his 310 power clean. Not going to find too many quarterbacks in high school football ever that can do that much. I know Jake Fromm did that much. I know Brock Vandegrift did that much. But right now, they're just needing a push from a guy that's had a 306, 382, 366, 367, 318, and 433-yard passing game in his high school career.
Well, when we talked to Philip Jones earlier this week, and you made mention of the comparison to Andrew Luck, the other thing that Coach Jones said is a little bit like Tom Brady, who, you know, is obviously not known to be a runner, but over the course of his career, he's a 1,000-yard rusher because he's so good at quarterback sneaks. You see that from Lonergan there too, just a very effective quarterback sneak, which is still, you know, relative to the yardage needed, one of the most efficient plays in the sport. Handoff again, right side, got a block. It's now, and a flag comes in, so hold everything when it comes to the run by Prothro. But he found a seam and found some room to run, but this one may be coming back.
Brandon, having to go heavy with this for Brookwood is not a big deal for them. We mentioned Lonergan's exploits throwing the ball, but they got 3 returning starters on the line, and then they got the 2 new faces. The 2 newbies are actually the biggest guys on the line. So it sets up really well for them to try and play power and try to get 4 yards off a quarterback sneak.
Holding. Offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It's going to be a 1st and 10.
Keep in mind, everybody, this is the season opener, and as with some of our games on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you're going to occasionally see some of those. Now, you obviously see holdings throughout the season there too, but this is one of the things that kind of keeps coaches up at night early in the season, getting that cohesion down with the offense. And we've seen some examples of that already for our first 3 days worth of action here. We were at Johns Creek with you on Wednesday, West Forsyth on Thursday. I had you for a triple header in Rome yesterday. Lonergan pulls the ball out with this RPO move and finds his man there at the 25-yard line. Miles Massengill, second catch of the day for Massengill. And that's enough to move the chains.
Really interesting to see how Brookwood's going to feed the ball to Jamal Prothro. He was a guy that was the understudy last year, played a lot. Great straight line speed, extremely fast, 356 yards rushing a year ago.
Brookwood also made a living last year throwing out of the backfield, and Prothro expected to be kind of the receiving end of some of that this season. As Lonergan runs ahead there, and we'll take a look. Speaking of Lonergan and the Broncos offense, let's see the starting lineup is presented by the Georgia Rome Office of Tourism. Lonergan we've talked about plenty. Prothro you've seen there at running back, but also keep your eye on Dobson. That's the wide receiver at the bottom left corner of the graphic there. That's really the one guy that you know Brookwood wants to try to find a way to get the football to here today. Prothro gets a chance to carry it again, and he found a burst up the middle. First down yardage again for Jamal Prothro, 5'10", 190-pound senior.
You mentioned Dobson, and this is the thing. One of the things we're going to crack open the intel file about is you're going to know about a lot of these young men. Dobson, they call him Aquaman, and I'm going to tease you on that one, and I'm going to tell you why just after this next play.
So Lonergan throwing, caught, 45. Down goes Lee Niles there. That's the H-back, getting a chance to get involved in the passing game. And Lonergan, the big-time commit, showing his ability to kind of spread the ball around here. He's getting a number of his weapons involved.
His nickname is the Italian Stallion, but Aquaman, number 8, I want you guys to take a good look at him. He's about 6'1", 170. First of all, Brandon never met a high school athlete that can check all these boxes off. Ready? He's a swim champ. He runs the 50 freestyle. He's a hurdler. He can go 21, low 21s in the 200, 10.7 in the 100-meter dash. Oh, and also he plays football for Brookwood High School.
And we'll be following his story all day long here, but for now, we have reached the end of the first quarter, so we'll take a quick timeout and can show you the Broncos continuing their offensive drive right after this. We're off to a great start here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Peachtree TV. So make sure you stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.
Becoming the #1 certified dealer in all of Georgia was no easy task. It required the highest quality of vehicles at the fairest prices, plus superb customer experiences. Now we've expanded our certified program to include every brand of vehicle. With Beaver Direct, it doesn't matter what brand you choose, they're all certified. Every vehicle will be thoroughly inspected and expertly reconditioned. Each includes a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty. Visit us at beaverdirect.com and see for yourself why Beaver Direct is #1.
Attention, it's time for the morning announcements. Make sure your parents are aware of the Ingalls Tools for Schools program and ask them to link their Ingalls Advantage card to our school. Remember, you have to do it each year. Now please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Back again, huh? You must love losing.
You're buying the next one.
You gotta win one first.
Okay.
Mix and match your two favorites for $3.29 at any size soft drink for $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
When we shed artificial expectations and choose a simple path, we feel free. Siggy's Skyr, full of protein, less ingredients, less sugar. Less sets you free.
It's a great day for high school football here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. It's our Corky Kell Classic, also the home of the Atlanta Falcons. And speaking of the Falcons, they've got a great offer right now for high school football players. They've teamed up with Ticketmaster, the Falcons have, to get together for an all-new high school football ticket program. For more information how you can get a free ticket to see the Atlanta Falcons play, visit AtlantaFalcons.com/high-school-tickets or scan the QR code on the bottom of the screen. So it's 2nd and 2 coming up for Brookwood as we begin the second quarter of play, trailing by a touchdown. The Bama commit Lonergan going to try to do something about that. From the shotgun, he takes the snap. It's a Prothrow run again. Prothrow's found some success, and he's going to help move the chains once again for Brookwood, and nice job on the ground there for Prothrow as we check out the starting lineups for Norcross and defense, presented by the Georgia Rome Office of Tourism. You know, one of the things you hear when you talk to Coach Keith Maloof of Norcross, a couple of the guys that he's watching closely there, you saw them, Antonio Mulder and Devin Hunter, two of those safeties in the back end. A couple of those guys that he feels great about defensively, standing up against this high-powered Brookwood offense here today. As you see Miles Massengill get his 3rd catch of the day. Flags come in. Let's see what this is.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So that'll back up Brookwood. Keep in mind, just below us on the screen there, the Breda Pest Management score ticker going to roll by today, showing you action obviously from throughout the weekend here in the Corky Kell Classic, but also big games across our state last night there as well. So if you want to catch up on the first full weekend of high school football here in Georgia, great chance to do that. And how about the Buford Wolves last night all over Thompson out of Alabama? Some very interesting scores, including the ones, of course, we've had for you here on the Corky Kell Classic. Receiver in motion is Dobson. Lonergan throwing, and it's intercepted. There to pick that off was Devin Hunter, the safety who we talked about a moment ago. Another big play here defensively from Norcross, and Brookwood has turned it over for the 2nd time.
55 tackles a year ago, 1 interception a year ago for Devin Hunter. He's already got 1 this year, a junior, 6 foot, 170. Keith Maloof calls him a very special player. And Brandon, sometimes the practice field is exactly right. I checked out Norcross earlier this week, wanted to see how that defense could hold back all these D1 receivers, all these playmakers. And Brandon, the defense had all the swagger. They were the ones knocking the offense back. And you see right now, Norcross has what it takes defensively as well, not just the perimeter threats on offense.
Keith Maloof said he thought his safeties were ready for the challenge awaiting them today, and certainly proven by that play. Broncos have 2 turnovers. Norcross has the lead, and they're back on offense again, but this time Ammons, the running back, hit hard by Shamon Lewis, the free safety, stepping up to make the play.
Number 28 on the carry.
Gain of 2, make it 2nd and 8.
Gain of a couple, 2nd down.
For those that only casually follow high school football, Brookwood and Norcross, both from Gwinnett County, the programs know each other well, but not in the same region anymore. Norcross is in Region 7 of 7A. Brookwood is in Region 4. Ammons again on the carry, and tough sledding up the middle again.
Brandon, we're going to call number 54 Miles Parker over and over, and one of the reasons why he's wearing number 4 today is there was a tragedy in the Brookwood family. One of their great former players played just in the 2016-2017 season, coached for them last year. Was an analyst, Esau Washington. Had a kind of unfortunate, untimely death and just passed away, and Miles was very close to him. Esau was a mentor to Miles Parker, and he used to wear number 54. That's why Miles Parker is wearing 54 today in honor of a fallen Bronco.
Incredibly sad, but obviously a fitting tribute on the part of Parker, who's already had a very good game today. Pass pressure coming. Nice catch, though, by Nakai Poole, the Mississippi State commit, showing off the athleticism right there. How about that one-handed grab?
I think Mike Leach is going to like that one. Great grab, Mississippi State commitment. He had about 700 yards receiving a year ago. Big physical receiver, likes to get up in a guy's face and talk. Very active, very high tempo type player.
So keep this in mind. Poole going to Mississippi State. We've already shown you Zion Taylor. He's got a catch today on his way to Georgia Tech. Lucky's got a touchdown on his way to Georgia. So there is firepower in this passing game for junior quarterback A.J. Watkins, and he's getting them involved here right now. Ammons, though, on the ground, spinning his way on the right side.
This is the definition of balance. One of the things Coach Maloof told us, he said he's really never had this type of balance, the threat level at all 3 levels, tight end, out on the edge with receivers. Poole, he just made the great grab a minute ago, had 11 touchdown catches a year ago. He's got a back he likes back there as well that he feels confident in. And then there's the dual threat quarterback. Norcross, of all schools, now looks like a team that's got all the boxes checked for a high school football offense.
Yeah, listen, I want to be careful how I say this because it could be misinterpreted, but in talking to Coach Maloof this week, I got the sense that he really likes his team. That's not to say that he thinks a game like this is going to be easy or any game's going to be easy, but I got the sense that he really likes his team and feels like they have a chance to do something. As Jonathan Mathis, a quarterback, comes in and gets a chance to carry the football for the Blue Devils.
Well, Coach Maloof's he's a football family in the state of Georgia, generational coaches in the family, and one of the things that other coaches in the region, in the county, told me is, you know, Key's going to have a good team, over 200 career wins. When he's in the Corky Cal Classic, he's going to make sure he has a really good football team to show off as well.
Well, so far that would seem to be the case. Watkins throwing, pass is caught. That's Zion Taylor again, and Taylor shows an incredible burst of speed.
Jeff Collins ought to be pretty proud with some of that right there. Zion Taylor, again, a transfer from Parkview to Norcross, another weapon for this Blue Devils offense, and they're moving down the field with a lot of variety, a lot of different ways to move the chains down the field as well.
11-yard reception for Taylor. Already leading 7-0. Blue Devils looking for more. Taylor, who had the previous catch, is by himself at the slot on the left side. That's where the pass is going, but hit in the backfield and slammed down. Nice play defensively for the Broncos. Coming up to make them that time was Caleb Neal, the strong safety. So Broncos get a big play defensively on the back of Neal.
One of the things, Brandon, A.J. Watkins, we've seen he can play. We can see he can make moves. We can see he's a premium athlete. The next thing that they need to show on film, these first 3 or 4 games of tape are always crucial for a recruit starting out a season, is they want to see him sit in the pocket and deliver the ball that way. They want to see that other stuff that's not flashing on tape already for him.
So just 1 running back, 3 receivers, all on the right side. Watkins will throw, got his guy there. That's Nakai Poole again. Poole makes a man miss at the 25-yard line, still on his feet, spinning finally down to the 21-yard line, but a flag is going to come down again. Poole thinks he's got a first down, but let's see if the officials allow it to stand. So let's see what the call is here.
Face mask, defense. That 5 yards will be added to the end of the run. 1st and 10, Norcross.
So not only does the pool reception stand, you'll tack on 15 yards at the end of it for the face mask. Let's see if we can see it.
Yep. Just a little attach and reattach right there. Just caught it a little bit.
And we are in the red zone now, presented by Northside Hospital. The last time that Norcross was here, they found the end zone on the back of Lawson Lucky, the Georgia tight end commit, and we'll see what they're able to dial up this time. Watkins sends Taylor in motion, fakes the jet sweep handoff, and now keeps it himself and heads into the end zone from 17 yards out. Junior quarterback A.J. Watkins has extended the Norcross lead.
One of the things Keith Maloof said is he says he can move those chains when a play breaks down. Well, that wasn't a breakdown. That was a beautifully designed call. Fake the action, fake the jet sweep to Taylor going towards the left, and then he just finds it whole, and all of a sudden Norcross 13-0, waiting to tack on 14.
Watkins earned this job last season as a sophomore, and you could tell that confidence he had himself built up over the course of the year, and more importantly, the team built its confidence around him, and he is paying dividends on that confidence to start today's game. Through the air, on the ground with his legs, and the Norcross offense has been quite potent. 14-0. Blue Devils lead over Brookwood. We'll be right back.
Failure happens to us all.
Are you the one others rally around? Inspire soldiers to follow your lead. Want to forge a better future? Start with the structures that support tomorrow's missions. You believe the best offense is a good defense. We've got a great way to prove that theory. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt. I got it, Mom.
It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Beginning the morning you opened your eyes, we spent every waking moment preparing you for the day you'd leave our nest. Whether it's driving to practice or helping with homework, it's all prepared you for, what am I going to be when I grow up? Will you be ready?
After much thought, I made my decision to take my talents to the IBEW Local 613.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers is not simply a job, it's a career. Visit IBEW613.org to begin a new future today.
Planting seed.
More football.
Your yard to the perfect touch from the professionals at Personal Touch Lawn Care. Mowing, maintenance, design, and construction. Personal Touch Lawn Care does it all.
If my yard is taken care of, it's one thing off my list that I don't have to worry about.
Sign up now for monthly maintenance and get the 12th month free.
Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
Personal Touch Lawn Care. 770-908-1238 or online at ptlcatlanta.com.
More football coming up here in a moment. You see Norcross working on its sideline, leading 14-0 over Brookwood here at our Corky Kell Classic at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. First, quick message from our friends at Breda Pest Management. Did you know that in an area the size of the football field, like the one we're looking at right now, there's over 1 million termites, room for that many. So what's stopping those termites from finding your home? Well, then Breda Pest Management protect your home from termites and prevent these silent destroyers from costing you thousands of dollars in damage. You can see more at BredaPest.com. That's B-R-E-D-A, BredaPest.com. Good to have Matt Breda, Breda Pest Management, on board with us here for the Corky Kell Classic. Big supporters of high school football and good friends of ours. And you see that score tracker rolling underneath you, including how about Lee County last night getting a win over Warner Robins. Blessed Trinity beating Calhoun. Great collection of scores. Breda Pest Management will bring those to us all day long. Duva's kick gonna be returnable at the goal line. And nice return heading down midfield. Take a look at this. Only one man to beat. That's the kicker. And it's going to go all the way back for a touchdown. Brookwood gets on the board with a big play on special teams as Bryce Thompson takes a kickoff 99 yards for a touchdown.
You know, Brandon, I can tell you exactly where that comes from. That comes from swimming. Dobson said he gets his speed. Never heard this before. He gets his speed from swimming the 50 free. He's a state champion type, state champ swimmer. Going to be a decathlete in college. Like I said, runs the 200, runs the 300-meter hurdles. This is the son of the athletic director. Brandon, here's the coolest thing about this story. In swim season, he's 140 pounds in February. When spring practice comes around, he's 180, 185, ready to play receiver for Brookwood.
Well, he looked like Michael Phelps on that touchdown, Ryan. If he's a swimmer, he must be a good one because he was blazing fast on the kick return for a touchdown. Danny Elrod's PAT makes it 14-7. And just like that, the mood here in Mercedes-Benz has changed dramatically after the big play on special teams for the Broncos.
Yeah, you want to be a little snarky, Brandon, and say, well, that's typical of high school swimmers that return kickoffs in a big 7A Georgia State football game. But you've got this guy, look at the numbers, Brandon. He is in the low 21s in the 200, about a 10-7, 10-8 in track. He's in the 300 hurdles. He swims at 140, a 28 in the free. This is a guy you don't see a lot like him. His father's actually the AD, the athletic director at Brookwood. And see the little blonde in his hair right there? Yeah. Call him Blondie because all the swimmers dyed their hair that color for swim season.
Let's see the team resume here presented by Smart Local 85. Of course, Brookwood, 2 state championships in program history. And Philip Jones been doing a great job here there as well. 15-3-29 first 7 seasons. Region titles a couple times, 2017 and then a year ago. And Smart Local 85, of course, brings this to you. Lost in the quarterfinals a year ago to Walton. Looking to extend on that here in 2022. Elrod's kick. This kick going to be returnable. Let's watch Taylor now getting a chance. Taylor, though, going to be dragged down 22-yard line. Nice hit, special teams there by Brian Diggs, the junior.
One more thing about Dobson. Pay attention, young people. You too can run like that and return a kickoff 90-plus yards in the Corky Cal Classic. All you got to do is swim about 10 to 12,000 yards a day during swim season. Dobson's first sport was actually swimming. Again, that's where he credits his speed from the quick twitch and the turning and the discipline required to exceed in that sport.
We do our scoring summary here brought to you by Breda Pest Management, and it's easiest one we'll probably ever do. 99 yards on the kick return there. For Dobson, one play, just 15 seconds of clock time, and that's of course brought to you by our friends at Breda Pest Management. And now we'll see how Norcross responds after allowing the game's their first points allowed of the game from the Broncos a moment ago. Watkins has a back next to him. It's a handoff to Ammons up the middle. Jordan Davenport there to make the tackle. That'll bring up second down.
One of the things I also have to really like about A.J. Watkins is he looks like he can make the plays. When a play breaks down, he can make something on his own. But Brandon, also a 4.0 student in the classroom. That's one of the things. He's not just excelling on the football field. That's your field general. That's your leader. And he's got a 4.0 in the classroom as well.
2nd and 8 now coming up for Norcross. Brookwood showing a 4-man front defensively. Throwing, pass caught. 40-yard line, going down there after being met by a host of Broncos. Another good-looking catch by Nakai Poole, the Mississippi State commit.
Big kid, about 6'1", 200. Look at that. They got the matchup. One of the things Malou said is you guys are just going to have to be able to beat one-on-one coverage on the outside. If we can consistently do that, we're going to force the defense into doing other things. And Nakai Poole's already shown he can do that a lot so far this afternoon.
Under 5 minutes in our first half. 2 great games coming up when we're done. Walton and Mill Creek, Marietta and Grayson in the Corky Cal for the first time. Here's Ammons hitting the backfield. Nice play by Caleb Neal, the strong safety, coming up and delivering the blow on Ammons.
Number 28 on the carry.
6'1", 198. Only had about 58 yards rushing a year ago, but he wanted to wiggle. And one of the things the coaching correction from the Norcross staff was they want him to go straight ahead, just hit the hole. He had about 70 or 80 yards against the Kool-Aid in the scrimmage, straight ahead. You know, he's gotten better and better. And this is a guy they think as the season goes on, he's going to get tremendously better and help them a lot down the stretch.
So Watkins from the shotgun, got 3 receivers on the left side of the formation. Going to throw right, though, and find Poole again. Poole, did he stay in bounds? If so, he's at the 45, and that's a pickup of 14.
Just one of those guys, Brandon. You see the ball skills there. He can go up and get it. He snatches the ball, catches the ball very naturally, brings it down, able to make a play and get moving upfield right afterward.
Nice awareness. Look at that. Tiptoes there on the sideline, did not go out of bounds. So heady play by Poole.
Very confident group of receivers Norcross has. They feel the 3 weapons they have on the outside is as good as anybody in the country. They might be right with 3 guys going to major schools like Tech, Mississippi State, and Georgia.
Hard count there by Watkins, draws the Broncos off sides.
At least as good as anybody in the state of Georgia, Gwinnett County.
Still first down.
Very unique to see that.
Poole, our second Mississippi State commit of the weekend. We saw his big rival, of course, Parkview, Brookwood, legendary rivals. Colin Hawk, a Mississippi State commit, but for baseball. So a couple of Maroon Bulldogs involved in the Corky Kell Classic, albeit 2 different sports at the college level. Hawk, though, could play college football if he wanted to, but seems to be a baseball player maybe for now. Here's Watkins on the move. He had a rushing touchdown a moment ago, and he's all the way down the 25-yard line there. How about 15 more on the ground for Watkins?
And this is a Norcross team. I think Coach Malouf said, the staff said, they've got 12 guys on the roster that have some sort of significant college offer, FCS level, 1AA, 1A and above, that type offer. And they've got a lot of talent all across on both sides of the ball.
3.5 minutes until halftime. Norcross on the move again. Ammons makes a man miss. He's at the 15, at the 10, knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. It's goal to go now for the Blue Devils.
Brandon, I don't know about you, man. This smells like the type of territory where you want to work the ball to your big-time tight end on the way to the University of Georgia.
We're in the red zone presented by Georgia, I should say Northside Hospital. Jordan Davenport, if he doesn't make the tackle there a moment ago, they're probably in the end zone. Jeff pointing out the Lawson Lucky, the Georgia committed tight end, had the game's first touchdown. He's on the right side of the offensive line right now. Ammons going to try that side. Ball came loose. There to scoop it up. Heady play to do that. So Norcross gets it back because of a very heady play that time by A.J. Watkins. The quarterback following behind and just picking up the football. But a big hit lodged that ball loose, and Norcross is lucky to still have it.
A.J. Watkins with a grab bag of plays already so far this afternoon. That one right there might be the biggest.
So second down now. Watkins hard count again. Brookwood flinched but didn't jump off sides.
Got a new running back in here. You usually see that after a fumble by the primary ball carrier.
That's Mathis. That was going to be a carry for Watkins, but the whistle blows prior to that. So we've got a timeout.
Timeout. Norcross.
Yeah, Norcross is the one that's going to take the timeout. They understand the importance here of trying to upend the momentum from the Brookwood special teams touchdown and take advantage of this. They want to be sure they've got it. And while they do that, let's also talk here for a moment about the Norcross resume, once again presented by Smart Local 85. Much the same way we said about Brookwood a moment ago, this is a Norcross team with a state championship history. Keith Malouf, also one of the 200 win coaches in our state's history, getting that mark a couple of seasons ago. 8-4 last year. Of course, won back-to-back state championships 2012 and 2013. A heartbreaking loss in the second round to Lowndes a year ago, 35-34, a game they're still talking about there around the Norcross program. And I think one of the things that's cool about both Norcross and their counterpart in today's game, Brookwood, it's kind of the family lineage here. Of course, Keith Malouf, well documented, his brother Kevin Malouf, longtime coach at Decula, and their father George Malouf, a longtime coach at Pace Academy, also one of the inductees in the inaugural class of the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, set to take place later on this fall, and really one of the, almost want to say, founding fathers of Georgia high school football, the way we think of it. Of course, great legacy at Georgia Tech and longtime coach, and the Malouf name lives on there. Watkins hit in the backfield. Brookwood starting to swarm here a little bit defensively, not wanting to allow points of any kind, and they had their eye on Watkins on that play.
Miles Parker, part of a gang of Broncos that were in there on that play. This is a part where Brookwood so strong up the middle with Parker, their 2 4-year starter, all-everything linebackers. Some of their best players on their football team are right there in the middle of their defense, and they're going to make it very hard for Norcross, even with this athletic, dynamic quarterback, to put the ball in the end zone here.
We've had big plays in today's game. This is the biggest here to this point in time. You see a trips formation on the left side. That's Lucky on the back of that. And that's the direction Watkins going to move, throwing back towards the end zone. It's Lucky again, takes a huge hit. Flag came in.
Had his hands on it, it looked like. Let's get a look at that again, but also the flag came in. Looked like that might have been towards the head.
So the hit dislodged the football. It was incomplete. Davenport, who's been in on a lot today, the first guy involved in that for Brookwood, but the flag came in almost immediately after the contact.
Had the trip set up, had Lucky diagram,
Pass
got something.
interference, offense.
Okay.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 3rd down.
So the penalty is going to go against Norcross for pass interference. Let's watch. So they're going to say, I guess Lucky create some space for himself prior to that. So, and there was no illegal hit of any kind. So it, in real time, live action, looked a little bit different than the replay suggested it might. And instead, it's Norcross backed up here, still in a goal-to-goal situation, but long way away from the end zone. Similar formation, once again, kind of a trips bunch off to the left. Throwing right, though, is Watkins. He's got Poole there, and Poole leapt up and had a chance, but incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down. And what a job defensively by the Broncos.
You mentioned it earlier, Brandon. It was probably one of the most pivotal stretches of the game right there, man. You saw it. Brookwood had to come up with a stop. They got the key penalty, and now look at them now. They have forced Norcross. And one of the things Maloof thinks about his kicker, very solid guy. He's a rare kickoff specialist, punter, kickoff guy, and he likes what they have there.
That'll bring on Drew Duva to try a field goal. 35 yards. The hold is down. The kick is away. And it's good. So Duva gives Norcross a 17-point lead. I should say 17 points and a 10-point lead. Math's not always the easiest. With 1:09 to go here in the first half between two Gwinnett County powers who've played plenty of times in the past and really stand as great rivals.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky Cal Classic is sponsored by Breda Pest Management, the official pest control of Atlanta. Deer Park, the official natural water partner of Georgia high school football. Ford, for great offers on F-150, see your local Ford dealer today. Personal Touch Lawn Care, the smallest details make the biggest difference. And by Northside Hospital, source of strength.
Atlanta Eats is back. That's awesome! That's perfection.
Oh, that's awesome.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's hang. Let's hang. Let's hang. Let's hang.
Don't miss Atlanta Eats at a special time, tonight at 10.
Remember as a kid, if you could dream it, you could do it? Well, you still can. Now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. And with great offers on select Ford vehicles, just move on. You'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So when the sun goes down, you'll just be getting started.
Now lock in 2.9% for 60 months on a 2023 Bronco Sport and Explorer, only at your local Ford dealer.
Jesse Palmer here at Rooms to Go, where our Labor Day sale starts right now. Go time for amazing Labor Day sale prices on our huge selection of great-looking room packages and hundreds of other hot buys. And this is important. Buy now. Enjoy your new furniture and make manageable interest-free payments for 60 months. That's a big deal. Big savings. Plus, with more in stock, you get your furniture fast. right now at the Rooms to Go Labor Day sale.
You want fries with that? You want fries with that?
Want fries with that? Welcome to Wendy's. What would you like with your hot and crispy fries?
Wendy's hot and crispy fries. Guaranteed hot and crispy, or we'll replace them. They're even preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's. Get to Wendy's and try them for yourself today.
Welcome back, everybody. 17-7 is our score. Second quarter here in the Corky Kell Classic, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Let's also give you our Georgia Elite Classic recruiting report presented by Ford. And Jeff, a lot of big-time guys, but one of the ones we've seen here thus far has been Nakai Poole, Mississippi State commit, and impressive, and one of the names to know for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, I love that one-handed grab he had earlier. 19 college offers. He settled on Mississippi State, Coach Leach, and that quick strike offense. I'm looking for a guy that might be the difference in this game with a play or two. I think Nakai Poole might be that guy, already with 4 receptions for 51 yards, not even into the halftime period yet. He's a guy, he's a playmaker, very vocal part of that offense as well.
So Mike Leach been now at Mississippi State for a couple of years and starting to make some inroads in recruiting. You got to imagine it's an attractive offense to play for just because of how many different ways Leach has gotten his guys involved.
Brandon, I don't think we'll ever hear a recruiting reporter detail that a commitment or target says that Mississippi State doesn't put the ball in the air enough, will we?
No, I don't think you'll hear that. After the last kick was returnable and turned into a 99-yard touchdown, this kick goes deep into the end zone, and so that'll put the Broncos back on offense. And it's funny, between the special team score for Brookwood, a couple of turnovers, and a couple of clock-sustaining, ground-chewing drives, it doesn't seem like we've seen a lot from the Alabama quarterback commit Dylan Lonergan yet. You know, obviously a lot of folks are interested to see what he brings to the table. Of course, a very good baseball player, too. And yet, in this game, he's been fairly well neutralized by an entire collection of reasons.
Yeah, kind of a malady of things, but you got to remember, Brandon, he started out his high school career, well, his first breakout game was a sophomore. He threw for 423 yards against the Kula.
Running play on first down and hitting the backfield. Clock going to tick under a minute. We'll see here how much of a 2-minute drive, so to speak, Brookwood wants to go into, of course. Less than a minute, but Lonergan going to throw now. Got some time to do it. Delivers middle of the field. Finds his guy, Miles Massengill there, and Massengill pays the price. Antonio Mulder delivers a blow, but here come the Broncos on the move. 42 seconds left.
I mean, Brandon, you watch him out in practice, and maybe 1 or 2 balls hits the ground, and that's him trying to throw some tricky back shoulder fades. 93 miles on his fastball. Big-time pro baseball. Lonergan
throwing again. Good coverage. Was it too good? No. Taiwan Royal breaks it up. That brings up second down. Bryce Dobson was the intended receiver.
You're right, though. Lonergan's got a lot more he has to show in his game than he hasn't done so far in the Corky Kell Classic today.
Half a minute left. Fun halftime show coming up. Let's see how we conclude this before we get there. Lonergan again finds Massengill. He's been the top target today, and he shakes free at midfield, and he's going down to the 35-yard line into Blue Devil territory. And with 20 seconds left in our first half, Brookwood's in business.
Redemption story for Massengill. Remember, he got hurt last year in this game and missed about 8 weeks.
Clock ticking now. Be careful. Brookwood taking its time. Lost some clock because of that. Lonergan heading down the sideline. One-handed attempt. Not able to connect with Dobson.
And really, Lonergan, you see the way he throws that ball, Brandon. I was at a practice this week, and they were warming up doing long toss before the game, and there was a trash can probably 50 yards away from him on his own goal line. Before they went into good on good in like the second period of practice, he just chunked that thing and ran out to his station where he would take on his first defense. Brandon, he switched that thing from about 40 yards out. You see there, he tried to switch that thing right there to Dobson on the edge.
He had no problem with accuracy. Certainly agree with that, but time becoming a factor, and they did lose some time prior to the snap, and now they'll have to call timeout. So maybe a little out of sorts here.
Another thing about Lonergan, I don't know how many Georgia fans we got listening on this broadcast. His father, Dan Lonergan, was a backup quarterback for Penn State. Who remembers that 82 Sugar Bowl? Who remembers that heartbreaker? Todd Blackledge was the starter. His father, Dan Lonergan, was actually the backup quarterback in that game.
Let's see the schedule here presented by Zaxby's for Brookwood. How about next week against Walton? It doesn't get any easier. A team that we'll actually see right after us today. The Corky Kell Classic, then defending 7A state champion Collins Hill on the road after that. And then in Las Vegas to take on Bishop Gorman after that. It's quite a start to Brookwood season. Coach Philip Jones doing himself no favor when it comes to making the schedule here.
Brandon, that's ultimate confidence in your quarterback, right? You rolled the dice on those first 4 games thinking you're not going to go 0-4 with that one. That's how confident they are in Lonergan and the guys coming back.
Then late season at Grayson, who I think is going to be a major factor in the 7A classification here. And then, of course, the big battle of Five Forks stricken between the Broncos and Parkview to close out the season. I don't know that any team's been more impressive thus far in the Corky Kell Classic, with all due respect, than what we saw from Parkview the other night in how it dispatched Johns Creek. That was a major statement from the Panthers on our first night of the Corky Kell Classic, which seems like 100 years ago because of how much football we've played since then. But Parkview still stands up as an incredibly impressive performance. Empty backfield for Lonergan. Pass pressure coming. He gets it away, but had to just sort of chuck it because he had a huge rush coming towards him. And now with 4 seconds left, you would assume that you're well out of the range of Danny Elrod, your place kicker, and this may have to be a little bit of a Hail Mary style throw towards the end zone.
Well, he can certainly make it, as that story I shared earlier. Just put a trash can down there by the pylon and he'll hit it. Another thing everybody needs to know about the Lonergan story, he's not an early enrollee. He's going to Bama. One of the things he told me is it's a typical script for a high school baseball quarterback type guy. They're going to see where the draft grade is. They're going to see what that contract looks like before he decides his eventual path, college football or professional baseball. Grew up a Yankees fan, wanted to be a Yankee growing up.
There are a lot of those good quarterbacks who are also baseball players right now in Georgia. The 7A state champion a year ago, Sam Horn, who ended up in Missouri. That's an example of that. We talked about Colin
That's their second charge time out of the half.
He's an example of that, too. So that's a trend for the moment. Let's see the team schedule here presented by Zaxby's as well when it comes to Norcross. Of course, once again, for Norcross, they got a tough task next week, too. Mill Creek, another team that we'll see tonight, and one of the top prospects in the state, 5-star safety Caleb Downs, Archer, who we've already seen in our Corky Kell Classic going back to Thursday night, and then a run-through region play after that for the Blue Devils.
One of those things, Brandon, about those quarterbacks or any type of high school football player, All-American football player on the gridiron maybe, but then it's all about a conversation. I've probably covered about 20 kids like this in my career where they think they're going college football until that spring season happens and those cross-checkers and evaluators look at you and they say, you know what, instead of making $1 million, you could probably make millions of dollars in our game. Then all of a sudden, the emphasis and the focus sometimes tends to change.
Thank you to Zaxby's for those team schedules, also for catering our delicious luncheon that we had a couple of Mondays ago to really start the season. Lonergan, on what stands to be the final play of the half, is in an empty backfield. He is going to roll right, looking to throw, heading towards the end zone. Ball is deflected and into the hands of his receiver. I don't believe Bryce Dobson was the intended receiver, but he's the guy. 35 yards for a touchdown on the final play of the half.
I mean, how about that? I mean, Brandon, we call him Aquaman. His team calls him Aquaman. His trainer calls him Aquaman. What he did right there is he made a play straight out of the Justice League right there on the tip drill. Not the way they designed it, but they will put it on the board. Look at that play. The play is made possible by the tip on the ball that wasn't even going to get in the end zone.
Yet the intended receiver was Massengill.
You almost want to say give an assist, because that ball isn't reaching Dobson without the tip.
I'm reminded of the old Tom Jackson, Chris Berman line from the old NFL primetime show. Knock it down. Knock it down. Not knocking it down there cost Norcross in a big way. Touchdown to end the half, and that's the kind of game we got going for you right now. So fun halftime show, then a great second half right after this.
SMART is sheet metal, air, rail, and transportation.
We fabricate and install HVAC systems, ductwork.
You can't just go to Home Depot and buy our product. You have to build our product.
If you can dream it, we can build it. That's our motto.
Our sheet metal workers are really proud of that work. They want to look back and go to a Falcons game with their family and point up to show what they did.
I need to try it first.
Tongue Torch, Zax sauce. Tongue Torch and Zax sauce? With Zaxby's Chicken Finger Plate, the question is not will you sauce those hand-breaded fingers? The question is, can you get extra napkins? Endless sauce abilities, only at Zaxby's.
Hey, you need any help?
Violation. Too many men on the field.
Superior training means that jobs manned by skilled trades unions take less time with better craftsmanship than with workers who are not trained through an apprenticeship program. Find your career at georgiaconstructioncareers.com.
Hi, my name is Abby Fader. I'm a clinical neuropsychologist here at the Northside Hospital Concussion Institute, and I have specialty fellowship training in concussion evaluation and treatment. Probably the most common way that we see a concussion occurring in football is one of those hits from the side, kind of a blindside hit, in which an athlete doesn't see it coming. And then that mechanism, that blow to the head, causes the brain to move briefly in the skull. So when a concussion occurs, we can have a myriad of symptoms, both physical, headache, dizziness, more cognitive, feeling slowed down, emotional, and sleep-related. In the context of sports and our athletes, they're involved in school, they're involved in their sports and other extracurriculars. The concussion symptoms alone can affect their engagement in these activities, and then being out of this routine can cause symptoms of stress, anxiety, just feeling sad and left out. So our goal here as neuropsychologists is to give them a behavioral plan to stay as involved as possible in school and with their team. Prior to injury, we provide baseline cognitive impact testing, and then if somebody has sustained a concussion, we complete a multidisciplinary evaluation, including cognitive testing, vestibular ocular motor screening, some mood questionnaires, and then exertional testing, depending on the patient's presentation. From that information, we provide a diagnosis on whether or not an athlete has sustained a concussion, and then we can provide really tailored treatment recommendations to their specific symptoms that they're having. Northside Hospital Orthopedic Institute really provides an innovative model of care in that it houses multiple disciplines under one roof. So patients presenting for care will really benefit from providers that can provide consultation for one another to provide the best consultation for patients. Additionally, providers within the Northside Hospital Orthopedic Institute are practicing using the best evidence-based recommendations, meaning they're using the newest and best research to inform their clinical practices and treatment recommendations.
Welcome to the Sports Turf Halftime Show. I'm Kelly Mansell with Craig Sager, and it's time to hop right into our coaches interview presented by Georgia Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Contractors Association. I have with me Josh Lovelady and Daniel Bruner. Coach Bruner, you have 3 new coordinators on your staff this year. What can we expect the impact from them to be, not just in this game, but also in the regular season?
Well, I think the most proud thing I've been with the whole new staff is just how we've transitioned, how we've gelled together through the off season. It's a byproduct of us having success. We had some guys that were elevated in other places, head coaching jobs, coordinator jobs, and I hate to lose them, but I feel like we've got good guys that have stepped in. The guys on the team have accepted them. The other coaches on staff has accepted them. And I think what you got to do at this point, first and foremost, is make sure everybody's on the same page. Try to be as simple as you can with still being complicated enough to challenge a really good Mill Creek team. But feel like we're in a good place. Really like the group that we got, and excited about where we're going to be today and find out what kind of team we are.
And speaking about all 3 phases, Coach, every time I talk to you, you mention special teams. You're going to have a lot of your star guys out there in that phase of the game. you got to think with this type of matchup against a good Walton team, that's going to play a big factor today.
Yeah, we work hard on special teams. We 15 minutes a day, at least. We have a good blend of starters, as well as our kicking is very well executed as far as being precise where we're going to put the ball, flipping the fields. We're into the analytics of hey, making people drive or getting short fields on the offensive side.
Yeah, and that was one of the things you talked about last year. You weren't afraid to attempt the long field goals because as long as it gets in the end zone, it's basically a punt. So yeah, you got the analytics down.
We've got a guy that has a big leg, and we're not afraid to put him out there and put him in a pressure situation, especially if it's non-region. You got to figure out, hey, these count for wins and losses, but also you got to figure out how far can you stretch him out.
And continuing with you, Coach Lovelady, despite having such success last season, your team was relatively younger. This year, they're coming back a little bit more experienced. Are you more confident heading in today's matchup versus where you were last year in Corky Kell?
Probably the same confidence because I think where we're young at is at the secondary and offensive line. I think those are two places you better be good at. Now, we got talent, but we got 3 new starters in the back end of our secondary. You got your quarterback and Caleb Downs back there to help him out. Offensive line-wise, when you got a quarterback back, it helps to gel, and as well as some of the pieces we have in the perimeter to make it easy to get the ball out of his hand quickly.
And Coach Bruner has talked about the guys he has coming back. Last year, Mill Creek had a ton of defensive touchdowns, a ton of turnovers. They're aggressive. So how do you stay aggressive today and avoid those mistakes?
I think we just talked about it all week long. I mean, Mill Creek's been very opportunistic, and it didn't stop last season. It continued on in their scrimmage, So I think what we got to do is make sure we protect the ball. It's one of the things we preach. That ball's everything to us, and if we protect it and are smart with it, we'll give ourselves a chance in the fourth quarter. But we're looking at playing one of the best DBs in the nation, one of the best teams. I think Coach Lovelady's done a tremendous job of getting those guys prepared. Just looking at that scrimmage, they look like they're clicking on all cylinders already. So we're going to have our hands full, but feel like we've gotten as prepared as we can. Never feel as prepared as you want to feel at this point of the season, but it's a good test. We'll find out who we are after this game, and that's one of the best things I'm excited about with playing in the Benz on a big stage. We'll know exactly who we are in front of everybody in the state.
Well, coaches, we wish you the best of luck. We know y'all are going to have some good, clean, wholesome fun out there, right, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No doubt.
Ma'am.
We will be right back with more after the break.
Saving at the pump can be a pain. Skip the pin pad and save. Pay from your phone. And with BP Me Rewards, you can instantly get 5 cents off every gallon, every time.
Georgia Power is here with a little reminder of how easy it is to save energy at home. Because it's often as simple as a twist, or as easy as a lift. It could be a little squeeze, or maybe just a pull. These small changes can make a big difference, helping you save energy for the bigger things in life. Visit georgiapower.com for tips and programs to help save energy and money.
Rise and shine with a free adjustable base upgrade during the Rooms to Go Labor Day sale. Right now, buy your perfect mattress set at a perfect price from our selection of top brands and switch to an adjustable base for free. Choose from so many great mattress sets, all at great sale prices. Then upgrade the way you sleep with a free adjustable base. Buy the mattress set and take control of the way you sleep. Enjoy the comfort and convenience when you switch to an adjustable base for free during the Rooms to Go Labor Day sale.
When we shed artificial expectations and choose a simple path that's made with intention, not filler, we move toward a life where we feel fuller and free. Siggy's Skyr, full of protein, less ingredients, less sugar. Less sets you free.
Welcome back to the Sports Turf Halftime Show. I'm Kaylee Mansell with Craig Sager and the Executive Director of the GHSA, Dr. Robin Hines. Dr. Hines, you've been with us all 4 days watching football. It's evident that you love the game. So tell me a little bit about your time as a coach.
Well, it's been a long time ago. I was trying to figure when I got out of it. It's close to 30 years ago when I went in and went the administrative route. But, growing up, That's all I wanted to do was coach. And I think about my days as a young guy and coming up through school, and Jim Hughes was my head coach, Jack Johnson was my position coach, and I just thought so much of them, I never considered really doing anything else. I mean, where this has led me, my career is kind of different, because all I ever wanted to do was coach offensive line. You know, so.
Offensive line? That's the one?
That's what I like. That was my favorite thing to do.
Okay, when I played, I used to look over at what the offensive linemen were doing at practice. I felt pretty grateful to be a receiver.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you get all the credit, you know, and those down and dirties, you know, they do all the work.
Yeah, pushing the sleds, all that. So what other roles, though, just as a coach? Because now you're kind of in that administrative position, but just in terms of day-to-day, I mean, what was that like, just having all the responsibilities of a coach?
Well, you know, after I became an athletic director and head coach, you know, I tried to take the job very seriously to be all around. I didn't want to be just a football guy, put everything just in football. You know, I felt like that, you know, what we did with our cross-country kids and our softball kids, and of course I was athletic director at Westover, and we were pretty good in basketball during those days, and you just wanted to make sure that everybody had those opportunities to have that great experience, which is really kind of what I do now. You know, I just want all kids to have great experience and have opportunities to experience things and grow as a citizen.
Yeah, I mean, it's so huge, just getting the kids on track academically, helping them with the recruiting process. I mean, what coaches do now, it's really substantial in each of these kids' lives.
There's no question, but the thing about it is rewarding. You know, it's like I say, it's been a long time since I you know, did it, but I still, on Father's Day, I have a lot of my kids who are about 50 years old now, who contact me to wish me happy Father's Day.
That's awesome.
You know, I mean, it's just, you know, the personal thing and the relationships is really what it's all about.
Now, before we cut to break, I have to know, in your time as a coach, were you ever superstitious? Did you have a pregame routine or a postgame routine that you always had to stick to?
Not that I recall. You know, I was too busy, scared, and otherwise. You know, I know that my time as a principal at Northside, my son Bobby, he had to wear one orange sock and one blue sock. Yeah. And we were playing Tucker in the semifinals in the Dome, I think it was, and he realized he had the wrong color on the wrong leg. So at halftime he changed, and that's when we came back and had that great comeback victory. So, but no, I'm not too superstitious.
I thought you were going to have the Dr. Hines playlist or something.
The playlist? Oh, yeah. No, we didn't do that. Okay. You know, I mean, you know I'm a music guy, but I like things quiet, and we were serious and ready to roll.
Well, Dr. Hines, we always appreciate our time with you. Love getting to know a little bit more about your coaching career. We will be right back with more after the break.
Together. Look to Northside Hospital.
In sports, an edge is everything. Hard work, practice.
Let's stay focused out there.
It all adds up for your athletes. But what about your field? The right surface is a powerful advantage that allows them to train effectively and safely. And when the lights come on, your team will be ready to win. You bring the vision, we'll bring it to life. Sports Turf.
This is how we do it.
Remember as a kid, if you could dream it, you could do it? Well, you still can. Now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. And with great offers on select Ford vehicles, you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So when the sun goes down, you'll just be getting started. Now get 2.9% financing for 72 months on a 2022 Ford F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
The Georgia Sheet Metal JATC provides apprentices with free training and careers that are stable and essential to the operation of the modern world. Both craft jobs and management positions offer lucrative pay with benefits as well as the stability of a growing industry. Skilled journeymen in the sheet metal industry are essential to our community now and in the future. Learn more about free technical training with no student debt at our website, careersinsheetmetal.com.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky Kell Classic is sponsored by Score Atlanta, your source for Georgia high school sports. Coca-Cola, we are in the people business. Georgia's Rome, where the rivers meet and the mountains begin. The Governor's Office of Highway Safety. Seatbelts save lives. The Governor's Office of Highway Safety reminds you to buckle up before every trip. And by Oracy, driving software innovation one application at a time.
Welcome to the Sports Turf Halftime Show. I'm Kaylee Mansell, and it's time to dive into our halftime guest presented by Personal Touch Lawn Care. Here with me, I have Keith Pepper, owner and publisher of Rough Draft Newsletter and Reporter Newspapers. Keith, Atlanta is such a hub for all sports, so tell me a little bit about the importance of local sports.
Yeah, of course. So thanks for having us. And there's been a lot of consolidation in media and a lot of changes in the media landscape lately. So for us, being a community newspaper and covering the communities that we serve, we're able to give local coverage to the schools that may not get it in other places. And of course, by partnering with folks like Score Atlanta, we're able to give even better coverage of local football and other sports through the year.
Well, before the interview, you and I touched on, as a member of Generation Z, I get my daily news from Twitter every day. So with local, with advancements in technology, how is the younger generations getting their news?
Yeah, sure. I mean, when I was growing up, we used to get 4 newspapers every day at our house. And that just doesn't happen anymore for younger folks. So we've started really focusing on newsletters. And so, of course, social media is one way to get news, but we have a morning newsletter that we send out every day at 7 a.m. And that is really the morning paper for folks. And so a lot of younger folks, a lot of students that we know are reading our newsletter, which is called Rough Draft, and getting what they need to know in really a 3 to 4 minute bite-sized piece of information. And so if you want to go deeper, you can. But if you just like to get that high-level information, you can really read that and be on with your day.
So what can readers expect when they get the Rough Draft newsletter?
Yeah, so Rough Drafts have everything from the weather, so tell you what the weather's going to be like. We're not always right on the weather, but people seem to like it. And then we have sort of the top 5 or 6 stories of the day that you need to know, and sometimes that includes things that are happening around the world. So if something major is happening, we like to put that in there. And then it's 5 stories that our editors really curate and think that that's what you need to know. We also have a pattern, so on Wednesdays we do the concerts for the weekend, Thursdays we look into food, and Fridays we have sports. So we really try to cover everything and give folks what they need to know in that bite-sized piece of time.
So for those at home, how can they subscribe?
Yeah, sure. So you can go to roughdraftatlanta.com and subscribe there, or you can text the word draft to 66866, and that'll send you a link to subscribe.
Well, Keith, I appreciate your time, and I can't wait to read your newsletter.
Thanks for having us.
We will be back with more football after the break.
Remember as a kid, if you could dream it, you could do it? Well, you still can. Now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event. And with great offers on select Ford vehicles, you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So when the sun goes down, you'll just be getting started.
Now lock in 2.9% for 60 months on a 2023 Bronco Sport and Explorer, only at your local Ford dealer.
It's time for the biggest sale of the year on the Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed. Why choose proven quality sleep from Sleep Number? Because proven quality sleep is vital to our health and wellness, only the Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed keeps you cool, then senses and effortlessly adjusts for your best sleep. It tells you exactly how well you slept, your sleep IQ score. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night, so you can be your best for yourself and those you care about most. Don't miss our weekend special. All smart beds are on sale. Save 50% on the Sleep Number 360 Limited Edition Smart Bed. Ends Monday.
Hurry into Mattress Firm's best Labor Day sale ever. Shop Tempur-Pedic and save up to $700 and get a $300 instant gift. Mattress Firm is America's #1 Tempur-Pedic retailer with mattresses in stock for fast delivery. Shop Sealy and get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchase. With our Love Your Mattress guarantee, get the lowest price and 120 nights to sleep on it. Only at Mattress Firm.
Everyone's into it. The Roost to Go Kids Back to School Sale. Time to change up your kids' room with beds big on style and function. starting at $275. Save big on bunks and lofts. Buy a room, get this bonus. $50 off a matching desk from our huge desk collection. There's awesome bedrooms in a ton of go-to styles. Upholstered beds, beds with storage. Plus, get 60-month interest-free financing. Now, at the Rooms to Go Kids Back to School sale.
Thank you for visiting our fire station today, kids. Aren't you the Pinnacle girl on TV?
And she can say Pinnacle now. Yes, sir. It's Home Improvement.
Pinnacle Home Improvement says no, no, no. That's no down payment, no interest, and make no payments for 12 months. Get a new roof installed, windows for your entire house, or new siding now with no, no, no.
Did you really say Pinnacle?
Yes, sir, Chief.
Welcome back, everybody. Brandon Adams, Jeff Sintel. Halftime of Game 2 of our quadruple header from Mercedes-Benz Stadium here on the GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky Kell Classic. And it's a 17-14 Norcross lead over Brookwood right now. But I think you get the sense, if you're a Blue Devils fan, maybe it could have been more. You had a touchdown in the game's opening drive. You forced a couple of turnovers, and yet a couple of very big plays from Brookwood start to feel like a difference maker on the Broncos side, setting up what I think is going to be a really fun and entertaining second half.
Like we said in the open, I think we got the best game call at the Corky Kell, and what you see from Brookwood's side is two very lightning bolt, explosive. How'd that happen? Shock plays. You got the big kickoff return, and you got the late theatrics, really late, that knock it down play you were talking about. You got these two teams, two great programs, two proud coaches. I think they're just getting started, Brandon.
We'll show you the highlights here coming up in a moment. Let's tell the tale through statistics here right now. Those first half stats, they're brought to you by the Technical College System of Georgia, and it's a big drive for Brookwood at the end of the half that actually gives them a total yardage lead over Norcross. To be honest with you, when I saw these stats, Jeff, I was actually a little bit surprised that Norcross has as significant a yardage lead as it does, or I should say that Brookwood has as significant a yardage lead as it does over Norcross today.
Yeah, you see those big plays. Most of that yardage lead was encompassed by that late drive from Brookwood, and when I see Norcross, I see it really dominated by the quarterback, A.J. Watkins. I think he's got 60 yards rushing so far. He's got about 80 yards passing. The dual threat stuff's working right there. I think he needs to get the ball in the hands of Taylor, Lucky, and Poole in the second half.
Norcross has had the ball a lot, but a couple of turnovers a problem for the Blue Devils, much like it was for Brookwood a little earlier. Once again, those first half stats brought to you by the Technical College System of Georgia. And now for the big plays that help tell the story of the game. Let's see the highlights here presented by the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. And let's start opening drive of the game. Lawson Lucky, the Georgia committed tight end. He finds the end zone. It was 7-0 at that point.
Yeah, great play there. Terrence Edwards, the GOAT of Georgia receivers, perhaps, says he thinks Lucky's probably one of the better, sharpest route runners he's ever seen.
Then A.J. Watkins would have a rushing touchdown, and at that point in time, it was looking good for Norcross, but things would change quickly when Bryce Dobson took a kickoff 99 yards, and that got the Broncos on the board for the first time.
Brandon, he's a swimmer, state champ swimmer type, top 4 type in swimming. We'll call that the 100-yard individual medley right there with that score.
Then on the final play of the first half, a ball that was not intended for Dobson ended up back in his hand too, and kind of a version of a Hail Mary, and as Jeff said, maybe like they used to say on TV years ago, kind of the knock it down play. Norcross probably wishes it would have. Instead, ball stays alive, lands in Dobson's hands, and it becomes a touchdown. And once again, those highlights brought to you by the Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. With all of that, we'll get you back to live action now. Time for our second half. Game 2 of 4. Coming up here from Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta. Of course, Walton Mill Creek will be on tap for you after we're done. Matt Stewart, Rusty Manziel are on the call, and then they'll stay with you as well for the nightcap tonight between Marietta and Grayson. Two great games after we're done, but they're going to have to go a long way to be better than what we have for you right now.
I tell you, those two gentlemen, consummate professionals, the Matt Sell call coming up later. We're going to look at this one at the end of the night. We're going to compare notes about who had the best ball game. You guys are joining in. You're tuning in right now. You guys are going to see a granddaddy finish from these two, I think.
Of course, keep in mind, Walton, who we'll see, had a great game last year with Lowndes. They were probably the game of the year in the Corky Kell Classic a season ago. I think they'll have a chance to try to best that tonight as they take on Mill Creek. And opening kickoff gets us back going here.
I think from the two perspectives, Brandon, if you're Norcross, you just want to keep doing what you're doing, putting the ball in the hands of your playmakers, letting A.J. Watkins cook a little bit with his legs. For Brookwood, you're down, but you're so much in this game, and Lonergan hasn't really gotten off yet at all.
So Lonergan will get a chance to. Of course, Brookwood won the opening toss of the game and deferred for this very reason to try to set the tone here to begin the second half, and they'll do so after a dramatic touchdown to close out the second quarter a few moments ago. Lonergan now throwing out of an empty backfield, comes over and finds his running back. They want to do this a lot, and Prothrow has got it across the 30-yard line, set up exactly as they intended. Nice play coming into the locker room for Brookwood.
Prothrow's a guy. He's going to be kind of the bell cow. Last year, Brookwood's offense revolved around a tight end on his way to Georgia Tech and then an AJC All-State running back. Looks like he's going to find a little bit more weapons, but still use the back a lot in the passing game.
Lonergan, of course, a great baseball player. Many of you know that story, and clearly looking the part as a quarterback, too. Going to play both at Alabama, football and baseball, and let the future decide which direction it takes him. Prothrow now running left side after a reception a moment ago. Now it's a carry, finding a seam on the sideline, knocked out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Antonio Mulder makes the hit, or that would have even been a bigger gain.
Showing a good burst to get to the edge right there. Prothrow played a lot last year as a junior. Came in, got some tailback work when the starter went to the slot. And you see him, ability to get to the corner, ability to get the edge for the Broncos.
So dialing up number 28 on consecutive plays to begin the half for Brookwood. Flag comes in here. That was going to be a reception to Lee Niles, but before anything had a chance to happen there, everything is slamming to a halt.
Got to expect that, Brandon.
Illegal substitution. Defense. 5 yards penalty. Still so first down.
Goes against Norcross, and you'll tack on some yardage for Brookwood, and now they find themselves in Blue Devils territory. Looking at a 1st and 5 after the penalty. You see Keith Maloof, what a great coach he is. Correct myself on something I said earlier. I misspoke. Obviously, George Maloof, a great coach for a long time at St. Pius. I said Pace Academy. Let me correct myself on that. Lonergan, pretty throw, but not able to connect with his intended target. That's Massengill again. They've really found a connection together today, but not able to line up that time.
Yeah, it's funny for those two, really great friends, video game buddies. They've grown up together, and really this is their year to have that synergy come together. Massengill hurt a lot last year. This is the year they're going to dial up that connection quite a whole lot.
Talking about Keith Maloof a moment ago of Lonergan, he said leading this game, listen, Nick Saban doesn't just go after anybody when it comes to quarterback. So saying he hadn't seen him play obviously head-to-head in a couple of years here. That's how long it's been since Norcross and Brookwood have played. But if Nick Saban wants you quarterback, he must be pretty good.
Yeah, and Brandon, you know, we were going to talk about this at some point in this broadcast anyway, but big-time quarterback 2023. Why is he going to Alabama? Why not Georgia? Georgia doesn't have a quarterback commit. Well, really, Lonergan just felt the quarterback room was a little bit lighter at Bama, and he also felt that the chance to play baseball was greater at Alabama as well.
Lonergan throwing through the hands of Dobson. Dobson's already got 2 touchdowns today, but he had plenty of room to run that, but they just could not quite connect, and it seemed like it may have gone through Dobson's hands.
One of the things he said and the Brookwood staff felt is they liked how Kirby Smart and Georgia were really honest with Lonergan. They didn't try to veil it or try to do anything different than the honest truth. Is Lonergan from the jump, when he started really getting recruited and checking out Georgia, didn't really feel like they wanted their quarterback to play baseball in the spring, so that kind of dialed down his interest a lot. Combine that with the quarterback room, and it's a natural question. Why is a young man this talented, a dude this talented in 7A, leaving the state when Georgia doesn't have a quarterback in this class? Well, I hope we've tried to answer that right there.
So Lonergan rolling right, going to have to hurry, gets away. Still on his feet and showing some of that power, that willingness to kind of lower the shoulder a little bit. He gets down to the 30-yard line and picked up 5 yards on the run. And I'll add to that, you know, different coaches have different opinions about this. Clearly Saban and Smart on different sides of the baseball factor for a quarterback. As you see the impressive legs there from Lonergan. I also talked to Missouri coach Eli Drinkwitz the other day at SEC Media Days, which was in Atlanta, about a quarterback they brought in from the 2022 class. Of course, Sam Horn, who led Collins Hill to a 7A state championship a year ago, also a good baseball player. And I asked, you know, Drinkwitz, is there any concern about recruiting a quarterback that has that divided allegiance to baseball? And Drinkwitz, different level of talent for the most part, the Missouri program says, no, we just need good players. And if we have a chance to win that recruiting battle, that's what we're going to do, and let it take care of itself after that, as Lonergan barrels ahead and gets close to another first down. So some coaches maybe feel like they have the luxury to exclude baseball guys from the conversation. But if you're a guy like Drinkwitz at Missouri, or in this case, I guess Nick Saban, that was a choice those coaches made.
You know, Brandon, it's a fascinating question because I hear from readers and our viewers all the time about even like they say, hey, put these kids in a bubble with the Manning kid out in New Orleans. Look what Lonergan is doing in 7A football. All these stats, great competition center nexus right there. And the film, I'm going to tell you, Brandon, the film to me of Lonergan.
Here's Lonergan throwing towards the end zone. Flag comes in again. If the play stands, it's a touchdown.
Look at that.
Big catch coming that time. And on the board potentially for the Brookwood Broncos.
Ineligible downfield offense, 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
I don't have an 18 on my roster, so I don't know who to give that credit to.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can get that cleared up.
I got it coming. That's Kazi Meyer, number 18. He was a change before the game. One of those guys, call it a Randy Moss play. That's kind of what they thought they could get out of him, working some shots to him in practice. Kazi Meyer, make sure we get that name out there. Great catch for the touchdown for the Broncos.
But taken away by penalty, so a nice catch by Meyer won't stand. And Meyer, who is number 2 in your program, number 1 in your hearts, but wearing 18 on the field here today. Lonergan throwing over the middle, trying for Meyer again. Meyer thought he got hit in the head.
Getting some action on back-to-back plays there, right there. They think they've got something there with Meyer. Big physical body, athlete, can go up and get it. Lonergan's trying to put in own guys, and just something watching him practice, Brendan. When you see an elite quarterback work, the balls never hit the ground. Everybody's on time. When there's a mess up on a play, the receivers automatically assume it's Lonergan because it's not on them. It's got to not on Lonergan, it's on them, because Lonergan spends so much time in the film room and working and getting his guys ready and on the same page.
Lonergan will throw it out of empty backfield again, dump it off, trying to get to Prothrow, the running back. Prothrow catches it.
Great catch.
But falls down at the 26-yard line.
That was one of those passes we've been talking about how good Lonergan looks. That was one where he basically got his receiver tackled a little bit because he had to come and get back and get that after it bounces off his hands.
So get some of the penalty yards back, but now looking at third down. Let me quickly ask this while we have a second on, Nick Saban. Obviously, Lonergan's not the only quarterback commit for Alabama's 2023 class. The fact that you also have Eli Holstein coming in out of Louisiana, how much do you think that factors into the tolerance of, hey, we can take a baseball guy because we have also another quarterback as a part of the class?
Yeah, it's really smart because, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, let's say Lonergan
throwing end zone again. Nowhere near his intended receiver, though, Lee Niles.
Let's say Lonergan blows up this spring and goes from like a top 100 pick in baseball to a top 30 pick. Well, then Alabama's covered with their quarterback situation there with Holstein. But one of the things you heard about the Lonergan recruitment is he took that official visit to Bama the same weekend that Arch Manning was there on an official visit as well. And they saw him. They saw how they got the same exact treatment as the #1 prospect in the country. Lonergan was treated exactly the same way as Manning, that quarterback legacy, and that in their minds showed them that Alabama was really serious about recruiting him.
Danny Elrod tries a 42-yard field goal. That's a long one, but it's going to be no good. So they gave him a chance to try a pretty big field goal there, which would have tied the game, but just missed it. And so the score remains 17-14, 8:42 to go third quarter. We'll take a quick break, come back and show you Norcross on offense right after this.
ConstructionCareers.com Corky Cal Classic is sponsored by Gatorade, Fuel Tomorrow, the Georgia Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Contractors Association, CareersInSheetMetal.com, building a solid future, Gordo's, Fiesta Every Day, the Mechanical Trades Institute, the best-kept secret everyone should know about, and by Peachtree TV, Atlanta's own.
There's slow, and there's insurance company slow. After you're hurt, never go it alone. Speak with a Montlick attorney today.
When we shed artificial expectations and choose a simple path that's made with intention, not filler, we move toward a life where we feel fuller and free. Siggy's Skier, full of protein, less ingredients, less sugar. Less sets you free.
Hurry into Mattress Firm's best Labor Day sale ever. Get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin and save up to $700 on top brands like Serta and Beauty Rest. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying purchase. Shop the lowest prices of the season and save up to 60% with Beauty Rest Queen mattresses starting at $379.99 or Serta at $499.99. With our Love Your Mattress guarantee, get the lowest price and 120 nights to sleep on it, only at Mattress Firm.
Get ready to go because the Giant Rooms to Go Labor Day sale starts right now. Hurry in for exciting Labor Day savings on living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, and more. Plus, to make buying easier, there's 60-month interest-free financing with low monthly payments starting at $15 a month. So let's go. Get great-looking living rooms, beautiful bedrooms, stylish dining rooms. Save big and get 60-month interest-free financing now at the Rooms to Go Labor Day sale.
If you've been hurt, did you know that you can speak with an experienced Montlick injury attorney for free? With other firms, you may never get to speak with an actual attorney. Simply dial #WIN from your cell phone. That's #946.
Welcome back, everybody. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com, Corky Kell Classic. Great look at one of our student sections there, and that's the Brookwood students. We've had such great student support in these games all weekend long, and I love to see the enthusiasm. One of my favorite things for the games we do on television, getting a chance to really put that on display, and these fans never disappoint. The Broncos fans included there. Running play to Michael Ammons on first down, and he's got very little room to run. Big play there by the Broncos up front.
Yeah, funny with that student section, Brandon. Covering these young people in high school football for as many years, you kind of stay in touch with what's cool. You see all those construction worker glow gear right there.
Yeah, one of our other student sections had one of those, kind of like the caution gear the other day. You kind of noticed that too.
We were at West Forsyth, and the student section had every variety of basketball jersey or baseball jersey imaginable.
I saw some of that, yeah.
From Bo Jackson to Toronto Raptors to Allen Iverson.
Watkins pulls it back on an RPO play. Tried to hit Lucky, but not able to come up over the head. Nice coverage that time by Corey Elliott as well.
That's one of the things with Lucky. You're looking to see a little bit of goose of those numbers this year. Last 2 seasons, he's had about 35 catches, 300 yards, about four touchdowns. Maybe can squeeze a little more out of him this year in his senior year for Norcross.
Seemed like the right idea, trying to get the ball to him in a big play opportunity early in the drive, but just not quite able to connect. Maybe the counterpart to that was Brookwood on offense going to pro throw back-to-back plays to begin their drive. Maybe a halftime adjustment in mind for both those teams.
Correct.
Instead, it's 3rd and 9.
Probably the Norcross after some early juice from Taylor in this game. They haven't went back to him in a while. I thought he was a spark player when they got
That's
the
their
ball.
first charge coming out of the half.
It's a good point. We saw Taylor in this same building a year ago in the Corky Kell Classic, but playing for a different team. He was playing for Parkview last season. Now playing for Norcross. And by the way, let's check out our high school scoreboard here presented by Coca-Cola. Speaking of Parkview, you know, they may have been the most impressive single team we've seen here thus far, although I thought Rome got a great win last night. 52-7 over Johns Creek earlier, and the game that started it all, of course, Kell High School, that bears the name of Corky Kell, one of the founders of this great event. Well, Kell High School won against Cherokee Bluff. Cherokee Bluff making its Corky Kell debut. 38-23 was the final. Jeff, you saw these two games on Thursday. If you don't mind me saying, I thought North Atlanta over North Forsyth was a little bit of an upset and a great win for North Atlanta out of the APS system. And of course, West Forsyth got the home win there that night. I saw all 3 of these games yesterday. Really, we had 3 great games in Rome. I was very impressed with Mount Pisgah. Another what I would call upset over Fellowship Christian. And then Kennesaw Mountain, a great game against Cass. And then Rome winning in its own stadium last night against Creekside. A battle of 6A versus 5A powers to close out the night last night. Here is Watkins getting free, running left. He certainly can do it with his legs. Fighting his way up to the 35-yard line and gets first down yardage. They have had a hard time getting it back going through the air again as of late, but Watkins is giving you plenty on the ground, although although he is slow to get up after that first down run.
It was almost a harbinger. You remember how Keith Maloof kept saying, you go to the well too much, you're going to get him dinged up. You're not going to have him for a full season to win football games. And you kind of get that feeling. First of all, Norcross is trying to win a football game. I know where they're trying to put the ball in this athlete's hands, but that wasn't a designed run. He's just trying to be a guy that is an athlete when the play breaks down to go get 10 and 15 yards, what he's done his entire career. And this time he ran into a whole mess of Broncos.
And it was not a late hit.
Just football.
Yeah, just football. You know, Watkins was still on his feet trying to get more. He had not given himself up in a slide situation. He was trying to get more yardage. And you see the training staff working on him there. He was very slow to get up. Still hasn't gotten up, obviously. And you see quarterback starting to warm up there for Brookwood. That's Zaire Goff coming in to warm up a little bit. And it seems like there's a chance we may see him as he quickly tries to get going here.
Yeah, let's make sure we've done our homework here. Zaire Goff, 6 feet, about 210. He's the guy that's going to come in. He's a senior, Brandon, so you know he's been around Norcross football a lot, knows the calls, knows the plays. We see Watkins getting back up under his own power. Every time I keep hearing you say Watkins is making a play, it makes me think of Coming to America. Randy Watkins, sure. A.J. Watkins, everybody remembers that. That boy good line from the congregation and everything. Glad to see A.J. up and about. Looks like he's going to go back in sometime soon.
All right, so certainly happy about that and hope that is indeed the case. And we'll see if we can get you an update on the situation from that. Watkins having to leave the field, but leaving on his own. So
Zaire Goff.
So Goff will go handoff on his first play in. That's a run once again for Jonathan Mathis, who's been doing double duty, playing his linebacker on defense and getting involved in the offense too.
See what the game plan looks like, how quickly they can get Watkins back in coming out of the tent. But you got to think right now Norcross might be a little bit more deliberate on offense here with the change of quarterback.
We'll make this also our injury report presented by Northside Hospital as Watkins is tended to, and we'll give you more of an update on that in a moment. High snap.
Wow.
And so Goff had to leap up to get the snap and then got bumped by one of his own guys and ended up going to the ground. So a little bit of an idea of the challenge to come when you bring in a new quarterback. It also looks like Watkins, who's standing over near the coaching staff, he may be about ready to return, or at least he certainly wants to be. We'll see if the coaching staff agrees that he's ready.
Yeah, he's buckled up. Don't really need much of an injury report with the sideline feed there. He's ready to go. He's looking at his coach saying, it's about time for me to get back in, coach.
But for now, it's a 3rd and 7 situation. With Zaire Goff, the senior, still in the game. Shotgun snap. Goff going to get rid of it, throwing, and it's a great catch along the sideline. Zion Taylor, the Georgia Tech commit, gets back involved in the offense. This is a big reception to move the chains and put Norcross into Bronco territory.
Talk about finding your athlete. Talk about being an athlete. Brendan, did you see him basically do a back handspring to kind of get himself popped back up after making that play? Here's what you do. You identify your coverage, throw it up, let him make a play, and come down with it. Look at that. Flip around, get back ready to go here in the Corky Kell Classic.
And how about Goff, the quarterback, no problem kind of stepping into the pocket to make that throw. That's impressive. And now with that said, Watkins will come back into the game at quarterback. So it's all good news if you're a Norcross fan right now. Handoff once again to Mathis. Mathis going to move the pile a little bit down to the 30, get himself about 6 yards. So that's 2nd and 4 now coming up. Clock ticking, 5:35, 3rd quarter. Norcross has the lead. Brookwood showing a big front defensively. Norcross has got 3 very talented receivers kind of bunched up in a trips formation up at the top of your screen.
Cycling in some running backs right now for Norcross.
Throwing, that's Taylor again. Taylor was looking for that block but still found the edge, and he's close to another 1st down.
Interesting how they continue to work in Mathis in their rotation. Mathis, Brandon, had 63 tackles as a sophomore, and then he had 118 and 18 tackles for losses in 2021. One of those guys that they call on to go both ways for him. He's rolling back in there right now.
So knocked out of bounds before he got a chance to get to the yard marker. That makes it 3rd and 2. And
3rd and 2.
It's a pretty significant moment here. We start to get a little bit later into our 3rd quarter. Mathis getting his chance again. He'll move the chains. Crosses the 25-yard line, and Norcross is in business with a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, this is what you want to see. This is kind of good on good, heavy set, kind of going up in the middle. Brookwood thinks they have one of the better front sevens on their schedule, and right now Norcross is just trying to pull up and just push them back and move the ball and kill some time that way.
Another player slow to get up. So it's a lineman. We'll give you an update on this when we come back here. A Norcross offensive lineman being tended to. So a quick timeout. We'll come back and show you more right after this.
The Mechanical Trades Institute wants to provide apprentices with a pathway that promises rewarding, hands-on work through a completely free education. There are many post-secondary options for students and young adults, and we want them to consider the skilled trades as one of those options. This is not only a job, but a free education and a lifelong career. We want you to start your future at the Mechanical Trades Institute.
Are you the one others rally around? Inspire soldiers to follow your lead. Want to forge a better future? Start with the structures that support tomorrow's missions. You believe the best offense is a good defense. We've got a great way to prove that theory. Explore more than 200 careers at GoArmy.com.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt.
I got it, Mom.
It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Beginning the morning you opened your eyes, we spent every waking moment preparing you for the day you'd leave our nest. Whether it's driving to practice or helping with homework, it's all prepared you for, what am I going to be when I grow up? Will you be ready?
After much thought, I made my decision to take my talents to the IBEW Local 613.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers is not simply a job, it's a career. Visit IBEW613.org to begin a new future today.
We'll get you right back to football right after this. Game 2 from the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the Corky Kell Classic. But first, special message from the team that calls this stadium home, the Atlanta Falcons. They've teamed up with Ticketmaster for a great offer for high school football players. It's an all-new ticket program. For more information on it, you can get a free ticket to see the Atlanta Falcons play. Visit atlantafalcons.com/highschooltickets or scan the QR code on the bottom of the screen. So it's 1st and 10 for Norcross. An offensive lineman was taken off the field, and he is in the tent right now being tended to down there. Of course, the Northside Hospital injury tent there on the field. So we'll give you an update on that if we get something. But the Blue Devils have the football and looking into 1st and 10 now from the 24-yard line. Watkins from the shotgun. Ammons, the running back, to his left. Whistle before the snap, and a flag comes down. Looks like they may get Brookwood for being offsides.
Encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So 1st and 5 now after the penalty. Norcross leads by 3. Told you this in the open. This is the 19th meeting between these two schools. First meeting goes all the way back to 1982. The previous 18 instances, they are 9 wins apiece. So 2 evenly divided teams over the course of history, and obviously here on the football field today. Ammons, nice run. He plows ahead, gets near another 1st down, and that'll move the chain. So Norcross has found success on the ground a lot today, and finding that with Ammons there with 4:19 left in the 3rd. Norcross 8-4 a year ago. Heartbreaking loss in the second round of the playoffs to Lowndes. 35-34 was the final, and clearly a bad taste in their mouth about a bigger postseason. Is throwing, caught, another deflection. That's the second deflected catch we've seen today. This one in the hands of Nakai Poole. So Watkins zipped it in there, hit off the hand of a Brookwood defender, and then right into the hands of Nakai Poole.
Yeah, Brandon, trying to check something right now. Whatever that injury was on the Norcross front, it was very short-lived because they came back right in a couple plays later, one play later. Don't even know actually missed time because their entire first-team unit is in there and been there for the last 2 or 3 snaps.
Now first and goal for Norcross. Hand off to Mathis. Getting to the end zone for a touchdown. Jonathan Mathis from 3 yards out.
Two-way linebacker. He's got a couple of offers, Brandon. Morehouse and Stetson University. Big-time linebacker, over 120 tackles a year ago, 3-year starter. Getting it done on the ground, putting it in the end zone on the ground, giving Norcross an even bigger lead.
Stetson is the Hatters. Mathis, no problem lowering his hat that time to get into the end zone.
Nice work there. Might have been talking about Mathis, might have been talking about our play-by-play man right next to him.
Drew Duva, PAT, is good, and Norcross's lead is now 10. 24-14. 3:32 in our third quarter. We'll see our scoring summary here, brought to you by Breda Pass Management. 12 plays, 80 yards. This is what Norcross has done well, and this has kept the Brookwood offense at times neutralized. About 5 minutes, 10 seconds off the clock, capped off by the rushing touchdown. I got to think that Keith Maloof dialed up exactly what he wanted to for that first drive of the quarter for them after getting the stop. No points yielded to Brookwood's first drive to begin the quarter.
Brandon, I'm going to take the words here directly out of Keith Maloof's mouth. He said, we need to take control of this game on offense, and we want to make his possessions precious for him, meaning Dylan Lonergan. When every time he gets a possession, he feels like he has to do something special because our offense has played keep away for most of the quarters, most of the halves when it comes to him getting a chance to make a play.
And we're still looking at a portion of the third quarter, all of the fourth, but for a Brookwood team that's been pretty content to be patient today offensively, you wonder if they feel the need to dial it up a little bit more. Speaking of dialing it up, Dobson had a kick return for a touchdown in the first half, and he's got one man to beat down the sideline here right now. How about Bryce Dobson again, all the way down the 25-yard line? Another huge return for Dopkins.
Brandon, I'm just going to say it. That's the best swimmer, hurdler, football player we've ever seen at the Corky Kell Classic. Flashing that 10.8 speed, low 21s in the 200. Also swims, freestyle, 50 free, 100 free. He says all this speed, guys, kids listening at home, comes from swimming in the pool.
So Bryce Dopkins has had 2 massive kick returns today.
Again, this is the game, Brandon. Methodical Norcross, 12 yards, 12 plays, 80 yards, 6-7 minutes. And then Brookwood just comes with lightning bolts scampering up and down the field, trying to play catch-up.
What's funny, the only 2 returns that Dobson has had the chance to, the only 2 that did not go into the end zone for a touchback, were the 2 that he's taken out. So it is a risky proposition if you don't get the ball into the end zone when Dobkins is about there to a return.
Back to pro throw.
Pro throw driven out of bounds. Mathis, who had the touchdown a moment ago, a linebacker in on that stop, and that brings up second down.
The Norcross game plan doesn't give him too long to get some sips of his sports nutrition drink out there back at work. Always interesting, Brandon, at the 7A level. You want to play your best guys. You want to play your two-way players. But at some point, there's a hardship there with your depth. Because sometimes at this level, you're not expecting guys to go both ways, even the very special ones.
Lost a yardage in that first down play. Lonergan throwing. Yeah, great coverage there to prevent that. Antonio Mulder comes over and has really nice coverage on an outstanding play defensively for the Blue Devils.
That's the junior free safety. He started 3 or 4 games last year, had 41 tackles. He said he's really turned into a player, Coach Maloof said. He was hurt last year, came back late in the year, got some good experience, and he's thriving right now.
Malcolm McCain, a good player defensively, was in offensively that time for Brookwood. That was the intended target. Now looking at 3rd and 11, and these Norcross fans making some noise here on 3rd down. They get the sense they can get off the field here with no points once again. Lonergan going to try to do something about that. Time to throw, gets rid of it, has Dobson there. Dobson heading towards the left side, making a move inside the 5-yard line. Bryce Dobson has a huge catch.
Brandon, I think we can officially proclaim that Dobson is a go-to guy now for Lonergan, making a bunch of plays. Got a receiver right there. Future decathlete in college, guys.
He's got a receiving touchdown in the first half, a kick return for a touchdown, a long kick return to set up this drive, and he came within an eyelash of finding the end zone again on that play. We're in the red zone now, brought to you by Northside Hospital. It's a goal-to-goal situation now for Brookwood, too.
Tell you what, Dobson's playing like he wants to talk to Kaylee Mansell and Craig Sager afterward when our post-game Player of the Year honors, Player of the Game honors.
Hand to Prothrow. Prothrow hit in the backfield. Tons of contact right there. It's getting physical here late between these two great 7A powers out of the Gwinnett County area of the metro Atlanta region. The intensity has really picked up. Not that it wasn't intense before, but in the late stages, you can feel this game hanging in the balance. So second down coming up.
About 4 yards there, Brandon. You know, and all these great players and all these great plays and storylines, still both coaches reiterated this. It comes down to who blocks and tackles better, especially in a short red zone crucial spot like this one.
So clock ticking, about to go into 2 minutes here in the quarter.
Got Dobson in single coverage over here wide.
That's the right side, the bottom of your screen. And now a timeout's going to be called. Almost like a basketball situation where you look at the formation and then decided to take a timeout and talk about it. That's what Brookwood does. You see Philip Jones doing a great job. Of course, the Jones story, a cool one in its own right.
Very cool.
Their father, longtime offensive line coach and strength coach here at Brookwood, a part of the great Dave Hunter program. And Philip's brother Tommy, we had him earlier this week as the head coach of Cherokee Bluff in the Corky Kell Classic. Two brothers who really, I think, have leaned on each other, that relationship. You know, there are challenges associated with coaching high school football at the highest level right now. And to have that brother, to have that relationship, to have that person lean on, both coaches talked about that, saying they're essentially each other's biggest fans. And you also got the sense from talking to Tommy Jones about how much that family has loved Brookwood for as long as they have. And obviously for Philip to be back at his alma mater coaching, what that means to him personally after seeing their father on that staff for such a long time, and just how much that program has been really in their blood for the entirety of their lives.
Yeah, it's a Brookwood coaching family. You summed it up well there. Jones is now in his 8th year, Brandon, and we think about the scope of Brookwood football since 1982, that high school opened its doors. They've only had 4 coaches, Brandon. That's Mark Cruz, that's Philip Jones, that's Dave Hunter, and you think about it, just 3 since 1987. A very proud program, lots of great players, including another great team, great players here tonight.
For now, they trail by 10, though. 3rd and goal coming up. Lonergan keeps, hit, dropped at the 2-yard line. 4th down is coming up, and it's decision time for Coach Jones.
Well, Brandon, you said it earlier in their first half, part of our broadcast. They love the acumen of a quarterback sneak here with their Zonka-type quarterback. Are they going to kick the field goal? Are they going to take the points? Are they going to feel very confident in getting about 2 yards there with their quarterback under center? Lonergan's still in there. Looks like they're going their heavy set, Brandon. You see some of this in practice.
So they're calling it 3rd and goal here. Either I lost count or something happened, but they're calling it 3rd and goal here. So
situation still remains. You're going to try and get 2 yards right here.
Big, huge set, powering forward, straight ahead.
Tom Brady would be proud.
Indeed. That's the quarterback sneak skills that Dylan Lonergan has, and the touchdown draws Brookwood closer here. And you see players having to be separated there for a moment too, although it ends up resulting in not much, but big-time physicality here results in a Dylan Lonergan touchdown from about 3 yards out.
Yeah, let's go to this replay here. What Brookwood does is they basically put most of their best football players on their team, including their 2 linebackers. Miles Parker, obviously their great left tackle, who'd barely given up a sack in 300 attempts a year ago. They all stuff them on the left side of the line and let Lonergan follow them, and they find pay dirt.
So that'll bring on Danny Elrod for a PAT.
Speaking of PAT,
that kick is good.
That was a pretty important touchdown there for Brookwood and their Broncos. All of a sudden, Brandon, this back and forth. We got 3-point game, Brandon.
Indeed. We are right back where we started to begin the half with Norcross on top by 3 at 24-21. So quite a game here between these two teams. And Jeff, I think you essentially predicted that we'd have good drama, and thus far it has been exactly as we thought it would be.
Too much good coaching, too many good players, too much variety on offense, too much to stop really on both sides of the ball, which is I knew going into this game was going to be a great recipe. And I was pretty proud. I was pretty boisterous about this game, Brandon. I thought we had the best one in the Corky Kell.
So it's our scoring summary here, brought to you by Breda Pest Management. 6 plays, 23 yards, 2 minutes, 16 seconds off the clock. Lonergan's touchdown, the difference.
Of course, all that set up, you only think about a pedestrian 23-yard summary. You guys are just joining us. Another big kickoff return by Bryce Dobson sets up Brookwood right there.
So we'll see if Norcross can return the favor here on the Elrod kickoff. It will be returnable. And running 15-20, Zion Taylor still on his feet at the 30 from behind. Brought down at the 40-yard line, but a flag comes down.
Much like this game is indicative of whatever you can do, we can do just as well. Now Zion Taylor and Norcross comes with their kickoff return attempt.
But it may be coming back.
See Lucky there on that special teams group as well. Norcross puts premium personnel on their special teams.
Personal foul, blindside block on the return team during the return. 15-yard penalty, 1st and 10 Norcross.
So they're going to get 15 yards from the spot here, and you see it right there just behind Taylor. So kind of right there in the play.
Right there, number 30.
So that's going to back up Norcross after a promising kick return. And we've seen the Blue Devils be effective on the ground. The 3-point lead heading towards the 4th quarter. If they've got more of that in them, this would be a good time to show it, because not only does it keep the exciting offense of Dylan Lonergan neutralizing Brookwood's side, but it gets you closer to the end of this game. Lawson Lucky comes back and gets a catch on 1st down. That'll move the chains. 30-yard line for him. 13 yards on the pickup.
Again, one of those things, I know we got a lot of Georgia fans tuning in. If you guys have the perception that this guy is going to be a special team standout early, work his way up on the field, he's got a lot more to offer in the receiving game than most might think.
It's also an incredible year for tight ends in our state. We saw an outstanding one in Martavis Collins last night for Rome, and Lucky right there in that conversation. Running play on 1st down. Class of 2023, class of 2024, that's true kind of across the board. I don't know that there's any position relative to the number of guys that you think of that's deeper right now in Georgia than what tight end currently is.
One of the things we're seeing, Brandon, I don't know if it was because of that fumble earlier in the game, but you haven't seen a whole lot of Michael Ammons, the talented junior running back, after he put the ball on the ground.
So we'll see if we see him coming up to begin the 4th quarter, because we're out of time here in the 3rd. Norcross has a 3-point lead, the football, and 12 minutes left to decide this one from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We'll show you 4th quarter action right after this.
Atlanta Eats is back. That's awesome! That's perfection.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right. Whoa. Let's hang.
Don't miss Atlanta Eats at a special time, tonight at 10.
There's a highway that stretches across the 93 days of summer, where worship isn't offered to the sun, but to the smoking tire, and where the lines being blurred are the ones between drivers and demons.
Georgia Power is here with a little reminder of how easy it is to save energy at home. Because it's often as simple as a twist, or as easy as a lift. It could be a little squeeze, or maybe just a pull. These small changes can make a big difference, helping you save energy for the bigger things in life. Visit GeorgiaPower.com for tips and programs to help save energy and money.
There's a highway that stretches across the 93 days of summer, where worship isn't offered to the sun, but to the smoking tire, and where the lines being blurred are the ones between drivers and demons.
Welcome back, everybody, to the start of the fourth quarter here on the GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky Kell Classic. Norcross has 24-21 lead over the Brookwood Broncos. We get ready to begin fourth quarter play. And I got a great note here. Our buddy Matt Breda from Breda Pest Management, who we've been talking about throughout the weekend because of their great sponsorship of our event. He also gives us a great note. You're talking about before, Jeff Sintel, the four coaches in Brookwood history, of course, Philip Jones now, and folks remember Mark Cruz and Dave Hunter, who won a state championship here in 1996. The coach prior to that, how about Bruce Stevens, who, as a player, was an offensive lineman who played for Bear Bryant. So a cool legacy at Brookwood actually even predates the great Dave Hunter with Coach Stevens, who part of the Bear Bryant tree, at least as a former player. That's a fascinating note. I appreciate Matt Breda from Breda Pest Management sharing that. Throwing here, and big play in the backfield by Corey Elliott to stop that one before it had any chance of developing. Nice play defensive for the Bronco cornerback. Wrapping up Nakai Poole. That brings up 3rd and 12. Just underway here at the fourth quarter. Walton and Mill Creek come up when we're done. Marietta Grayson is our finale of the day and of the event after 4 days of football. Watkins handoff. That's Mathis again, and Jeff's right. We have not seen Michael Ammons, the junior running back, in a while, although he was the running back to begin the day.
Yeah, sometimes that happens when you put the ball on the ground and you've got a guy down right here. Now this is Miles
Officials
Parker.
come out for injury.
They call him Tonka, Brandon. Love that nickname.
So we're going to see if Parker is okay. He seems to be in pain right now, and we'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back and give you an update on Parker's status right after this.
Planting season is here, and it's time to give your yard the perfect touch from the professionals at Personal Touch Lawn Care. Why Personal Touch? Courteous service, attention to detail, and a desire to give you the best lawn in your neighborhood.
They have the knowledge and skills to do anything that I would need.
Call now for a 25% discount on design and consultation services.
Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
Personal Touch Lawn Care, 770-908-1238, or online at ptlcatlanta.com.
SMART is sheet metal, air, rail, and transportation.
We fabricate and install HVAC systems, ductwork.
You can't just go to Home Depot and buy our product. You have to build our product.
You can dream it, we can build it. That's our motto.
Our sheet metal workers are really proud of that work. They want to look back and go to a Falcons game with their family and point up to show what they did.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky Kell Classic is sponsored by CBS 46 First Alert Weather. Download the app in the App Store. The Great Atlanta Bash, showcasing the city's best. The Georgia Elite Classic. Nominate yourself today for the December All-Star Games. The Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame. The greatest take the stage on October 22nd at the College Football Hall of Fame. And by the National Signing Day Frenzy. Celebrate Georgia's seniors and the next stages of their careers.
And welcome back Norcross 24-21, and you see the injury situation there for a very important player for this Brookwood defense. That's Miles Parker, the big nose man. That's a 6'1", 320-pound senior, and he's being tended to right now. As back in live action, Norcross gets a punt away, and I mean just barely. That's going to end up being a good break for Brookwood special teams and a good field position to get the football back here for their first drive of the fourth quarter. Punt was away, but there was a rush coming, and it was, if you're Lou Duva there, you're lucky to get that one away.
Brandon can't stress how big of an injury that is right now for Miles Parker with Brookwood. It's probably best that it happened on third down, where Brookwood gets a chance to come back and put points on the board. But if you're making a list of the top 3 or 4 players on the Brookwood high school football team, Miles Parker is definitely one of those top 3.
So we'll follow that when Brookwood goes back on defense. But as Jeff said, for now, they're concerned with trying to get points and maybe take the lead here. They got the field position to do it, and the quarterback who's capable, Dylan Lonergan, you know his story, the Alabama commit. Money time for him here in the fourth quarter. RPO play. He finds his receiver running 40, 45, knocked out of bounds at midfield. Evan Gober, first catch of the day for Gober.
Brandon, let me tell you about that. Circle that name. That is a sophomore, Evan Gober, already 6'3", 220. And one of the things that's always been clear to me is if you're playing at a 7A school like Brookwood as a sophomore, that dials you in as a future Division I player.
Gober's a little bit of an example we were talking about a moment ago, which is, you know, whether they're guys who've made a name for themselves yet or not, these big athletic tight ends now all across the state. Here's Prothrow getting a chance to carry. He got the block from Dobson, but he's knocked out of bounds, but not before he gets a big carry. And second short coming up here for Brookwood.
Yeah, one of those guys that really caught your eye. 6'3", 220. Gober is a sophomore. He's got an older brother on the team as well. Playing a lot, starting a lot for a strong Brookwood team. 10-3 a year ago. That means you've got a very bright future, and those offers are going to be coming.
We're looking at 10 minutes, 21 seconds to go in the game, and a 2nd-3 situation after the 7-yard gain from Prothrow a moment ago. Norcross showing a 4-man front defensively. The motion man goes for Brookwood towards the end zone, and a catch is made. Wrestling match ensues. Flag comes in as well.
Lee Niles on the catch.
So we're going to have to sort this out because the ball landed in Niles' hand, but it was hard to see if he had it or if a good... Yeah, so that's a wrestling match taking place, but there's a flag before that. So Lionel Burns had the coverage with Niles. They were in a wrestling match. A flag went down before the play concluded.
Brandon, you've heard of the loser leaves town match. That was a loser loses possession match right there.
Yeah, it's sort of like one of those old radio contests. Last one to stop touching the car wins it. Niles may have held on to that through the catch.
Pass interference, defense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Potential defining signature moment of the game right there, Brandon.
So the play is going to result in a penalty.
The ruling on the field was an interception in the end zone.
Okay, so yeah, so clearly not a touchdown because otherwise they would have just taken the play and not taken the penalty. But the ruling is that Burns did come down with it.
I think that's the right call too.
And so because the pass interference, that negates the interception and gives Brookwood the half the distance.
Tried to bring it in with one arm, and when he was kind of shimmying it from one arm to the next, when he opened up the opportunity for the Norcross defender.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So Niles' left arm kind of comes off the ball. See, right there, he's grabbing a hold of Burns' leg and not the football. And so that may have been the smoking gun in terms of the fact that it was actually Burns who had it and not Niles.
One of these guys, Brandon, watching him on film, watching him work, I want to call everybody's attention to number 51, the left tackle for Brookwood, Corey Mays, only about 6'2", 275. Squats about 530 pounds, very powerful. Only gave up 1 sack last year in Lonergan's 350 pass attempts. Corey spells that name with 2 R's if you coaches want to follow him on Twitter a little bit. But Corey Mays, really one of the better players on the Brookwood team. And you see not a lot of pressure again tonight for Norcross, excuse me, this afternoon for Norcross on Lonergan.
After crew conference, the rolling on the field is a simultaneous catch in the end zone. That's going to result in a touchdown for Brookwood.
Okay, so a change here.
The pass interference penalty will be declined.
The simultaneous catch. Obviously, you see that all the time.
And that is a very interesting development. We may need to see this again now to see what the officials thought they saw. So Niles goes up and gets the high point.
So they're basically saying you grab the ball, you come down in the end zone, and you make your football move, fall down, then your possession is there.
It's a tough call for the officials to make, and after the deliberation, that's what they see. And keep in mind, they don't have the benefit of the replays like we do, although in this stadium today we do have a giant video board above us that is showing these plays over.
Maloof is furious, probably as he should be. I don't know. The dreaded simultaneous catch comes into play a lot in high school football.
I have to admit, I think that Coach Maloof's got a pretty good point here. I don't, to me, it did not look like a catch. Unless we're talking about a very specific interpretation of the rule.
Brandon, I love your analogy there. It looked like that the Norcross player did have his hand on the car a lot longer in that old-fashioned radio contest than the Brookwood receiver right there.
So let's hear
the pass interference penalty will be administered on the kickoff.
Yeah, forcing on the kickoff.
Okay, so
that's what they were talking about.
That'll get tacked on.
What is it with Coach Maloof and Norcross in these controversial calls and quirky calls? We've seen a few of these throughout the years.
I guess that might be right.
He probably needs to bring a packet of antacids with him every time he walks into a Corky Kell Classic.
So Elrod will try the extra point, and it's good. Credit Lee Niles with a touchdown, and just for clarity's sake, change in the call on the field. Originally, a Lionel Burns interception turns into a simultaneous possession as it's described, and a Niles touchdown from 24 yards out. So 51 yards chewed up in just 3 plays, and that's why you want to keep Brookwood off the field, because that's the potency they have offensively when it comes to Lonergan showing up there, and now Brookwood's got the lead after trailing all day long.
Brandon, look at it again. 3 plays, 51 yards. It's not like Brookwood holds on to the ball along. They just maximize every moment, every snap with a talent like Lonergan and these big playmakers on their squad. Now, we got to look at this, Brandon. The first places our eyes should go when the Brookwood defense takes the field is what's up with Miles Parker. 315-pound bench press, 680 on the squat. That's basically off a milk crate they call it. He plays guard, he plays tight end, he plays running back.
So we'll see if he goes back into the game when Brookwood goes back on defense. Short kick because of the penalty, and that'll just be boomed into the back of the end zone. No chance for Zion Taylor to return that. And that'll be a touchback for Norcross, and finding themselves in a position they haven't been all day long, which is trailing today. We were tied at 0. They scored on their first drive, and they've had the lead ever since.
I've already eyeballed it, man. Maybe the young man, number 54, needs a Tonka deal, NIL Tonka deal. He's walking out there on the field ready to take some snaps back into the heart and back into the teeth of this Brookwood defense.
So with 10 minutes, 15 seconds, Norcross probably doesn't and shouldn't feel any need to change what's been working for them all day long today. A lot of Watkins on the ground and throwing to some of these talented wide receivers when need be. We'll see if that continues to be the formula. Brookwood shows 4-man front defensively with Parker in the middle, back from injury. And talk about Parker stepping up big on the first down play.
That was Jeremy Johnson, I believe, right there, number 56 on the stop.
Big stand up defensively on first down. And our first time today to see Lajee Taylor carrying the football too. So
yeah, 5'10", 275, big time space eater right now. Jeremy Johnson, another similarly wide-bodied player, making a big play right now for Brookwood.
Change at running back again for Norcross after that, with 2nd and 12 coming up. This time throwing, man, at the 35-yard line. Chains move. That's Xavier Boateng, the tight end, getting his first catch of the day. The other tight end, or I should say Zion Taylor, who comes up with that catch.
They feel pretty good about that route coming across the middle. Again, one of the things that A.J. Watkins had to do, everybody could tell last year he could run it in securing the job for Norcross. Coaches, college coaches wanted to see him sit back in the pocket and distribute kind of like that.
Taylor, the Yellow Jacket commit, has been impressive when he's had a chance to touch it, as he was in the same venue a year ago playing for Parkview. Not a winning day for the Panthers a year ago, but Taylor made a good show for himself.
Brookwood.
So Brookwood now takes timeout.
That's their second timeout.
On a 1st and 10 situation. Keep that in mind for later on with a game as tight as this one's been. Of course, Brookwood State quarterfinals a year ago, 10-win season.
Brendan, I had to check this because in my mind's eye, I was noticing how Watkins is really deadly efficient today. He's 13 out of 16 through the air, 125 yards, only been sacked once. He also had 74 yards on the ground. Taylor now with 74 yards receiving as the big play factor receiver right now for Norcross.
Yeah, when he's thrown it well. Another good look at those Brookwood students, and Coach Malouf is still not happy. Still not happy.
You don't think he's talking about that procedure call or anything like that, do you?
Yeah, he is still.
We know what he's talking about.
Talking about that touchdown decision, which is what it was on the previous drive, that resulted in a Lee Niles touchdown and a Brookwood lead. And it's a tough, listen, when you have a battle like that ongoing, we said in live action when the play first happened that both guys were in a wrestling match for, and that's a hard thing to sort out. And that was the decision that was made. And now Brookwood has the lead because of it. Throwing again. That's Lucky in the middle of the field. Flag comes in. Caleb Neal had the coverage, and it seemed like it might have been good coverage, at least in terms of what you're seeing in live action, because he got a paw in there to knock that football out, but he may have got a little too snug.
Defense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, results in a first down.
That's what they're going to say that he did. And it's almost going to remind you of one of those NFL scenarios where even though it's not a spot foul, hey, get the playmaker out there, see if you can force something and buy yourself 15 yards just because of how difficult Lucky is to cover.
Yeah, definitely. Good ball there again. He put it right on him. Brendan, going back to your thought about the simultaneous catch, I've been in a lot of stadiums, covered a lot of games. The simultaneous catch doesn't come up that often, but really, I'm going to sound like a sports writer here. It's kind of indicative of the whole game. Both teams had a chance there, and that's how close this one has been so far.
And if the game's done on television, we don't have a lot of cameras, then it's almost like, just with game film alone, it can be hard to tell. We're obviously able to zero in on that a little bit more as Watkins gets a chance to cover. And look, even seeing the replay, there may be a case to be made for the simultaneous catch being the correct call because of the way that Niles came down with it. Certainly there's a case to be made for that. I think my interpretation, what I saw on video, might have been that that's not what I would have called. But you can understand why there is obviously an alternate interpretation of what we saw there.
Yeah, I think the way they had to look at it is they had to determine when the Brookwood player established possession, came down in the end zone with the ball.
Watkins will throw, knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard is Nakai Poole once again.
Getting down to 8 minutes and 30 seconds in the game, things are starting to tighten up a little bit, and Norcross is trying to find out what it can do best here when it absolutely has to get something going on this drive.
Yeah, key third down now coming up. You mentioned a moment ago, Watkins has been good through the air today when they've thrown it, and with these kinds of weapons, that may be what you'd expect. We'll see if they look to do that here on 3rd and 5.
Talk about a dicey predicament. You do not want to give Lonergan the ball back still with the lead. I believe that's the first lead that Brookwood has had all game.
Mathis, the running back, he's got a touchdown already today and get a first down conversion, and that came at a big time for the Blue Devils.
Good look, good call. You saw what the defense gave you right there, made your adjustment, and found a first down out of it.
So, put him at the 35 in Bronco territory. Actually, we'll say 36-yard line. Mathis, he's going to be sleeping well tonight after playing a lot on defense and playing at a high level, and now giving you a big lift if you're a Blue Devils fan at the running back spot.
Mathis is going to feel like he called about 8 of these Corky Kale Classic games when he gets home tonight in Norcross.
Tight formation here for Norcross. Watkins didn't have much to do that time. Swarmed by the Broncos, including Callie Gober, the Rover. So, lost a yard there.
Gober, that's the older brother of the tight end that made that big catch, the sophomore starter for Brookwood as well.
Technically, in your stat sheet, that'll go down as a tackle for loss. And now looking at 2nd and 11, Watkins again.
Bunch formation here. Look what they're going to try to
They've been packing it tight. Watkins trying to find that block, can't get it again. Another nice play defensively, this time by Malcolm McCain, the Miami of Ohio commit. They're in the backfield. They're swarming Watkins all over the place right now.
Yeah, McCain, 6'1", 225, committed to those Redhawks of Miami, I believe. One of the anchors of the defense last year. And you also saw Joseph Leslie coming in there as well, 5'11", 220.
So, looking at coming up on 6 minutes to go in the game. Norcross trailing by 4 with the football. Another 3rd down. This one longer though. 3rd and 11. We'll see if they're playing for 2-down territory or not. Pass play. It's caught. Still dancing 30-yard line. Now 1st down yardage for Zion Taylor. Big pickup through the air for Taylor.
That certainly resets the winnability factor here for Norcross, because if you ask me, I think Norcross, what they'd like to do is hold on to this ball and bleed about another 2 or 3, 4 minutes off this clock. Now they can do that with that big 3rd down conversion by the Georgia Tech commit.
20 yards on the catch for Taylor. He's had a nice day. We're in the red zone here, presented by Northside Hospital. Clock ticking, 5:27. Trips formation with the receivers on the right side. Handoff to Mathis. Mathis hit hard again. Brookwood relentless in the backfield here at the moment.
McCain.
That's McCain again.
And Brandon, that last catch by Zion Taylor has him a pretty nifty 7-catch, 91-yard day.
Been a nice weekend as well for MAC commits. We saw a great performance last night from an Eastern Michigan commit, and today for the Redhawks of Miami of Ohio. So the Mid-American Conference has been well represented in the Corky Kell Classic here this weekend.
Watkins now 15 out of 18 on the day. Another sterling day for him.
Watkins will throw RPO to Lucky. Ooh, could not hold on to that. And he may have had a touchdown if he could.
Now Lawson's going to be the first one to tell you he should have made that play. He should have taken that in the end zone, especially the type of player he is, the amount of work, tireless work he puts into his game right there. That's what he wanted.
Yeah. It'll rarely be easier than that one would have been had he held on to it, because he had nothing but green grass on the way towards the end zone. Instead, it's a 3rd and 10 situation again. And now the Brookwood fans are making a bunch of noise. They sense the chance to preserve their lead. But be careful. Norcross has converted 2 big 3rd downs on this side of the field already on this drive. Dramatic moment coming up with 4 minutes, 41 seconds to go in the game. And Norcross has moved. Flag comes in. Norcross jumped, and now they're going to be backed up 5 yards, and the job gets a little bit tougher.
False start. Offense, 5-yard penalty.
3rd and 15.
And let's see our Gordo's Cheese Dip fans of the game here. We told you, how about the Brookwood student section going crazy there a moment ago, really kind of getting involved in this game with their team on defense. That's great to see. They're our fans of the game, and at least they're cheering while their team's on defense. We had our fans of the game the other night in Rome, and they were cheering while their team was on offense. Quarterback looked around and said, "What's going on here? Why are you making noise against us?" Not realizing their student section had been honored as our fans of the game. Watkins takes the snap on 3rd and 15. Going to throw. Trying to connect with his receiver. Trying to get Taylor there, but broken up, and that'll bring up 4th down. Brookwood doing a great job defensively.
Looks like a 42-yard kick. I don't know if you need those points right now at all. I would surmise right here that Norcross, even though 4th and 15 is not what they want, they probably just as well served in going for it.
Yeah. You've got pristine conditions. Keep in mind that high school games don't typically take place indoors, so you'll never have better conditions in which to kick it if you want to send Drew Duba out, or I should say Drew Duba out there. But
that's their 2nd charge.
There's no chart for this, Brandon, but it's got what you feel comfortable with your call sheet. But for me, I don't think I like giving the ball back to Dylan Lonergan down 1 versus being down 4.
And that's the issue here. Even with the field goal, you still stare at a deficit, and there's no guarantee you get the football back. And given the playmakers that can make something happen for Norcross, if you're playing the odds, giving the ball to a Taylor, giving the ball to a Lucky or a Nakai Poole, finding a way to get them the football, that may be, the odds-on play as well as anything is, but keep in mind they also have 15 yards to go to make this happen.
Find your best play on the call sheet, because that's what you got to get here, and if you don't get it, well, then you're down 4 and Lonergan has the ball. Not much worse than being down 1 and Lonergan still has the ball right around the same spot as well. Also, you got to think about kicking the ball again to Bryce Dobson as well.
That's right. Dobson's been dangerous with 2 big kick returns today, including a touchdown in the first half. Brookwood students louder than they've been all day long. 4th and 15, they sense it. Big opportunity here. 3 receivers on the right side. Lucky the tight end is a slot kind of in the middle of your screen. Watkins going to look to the right side. Throw towards the end zone. Ball lofts up there. Lockie's the intended receiver, but it's intercepted. There to pick that off is Noah Holton. And Brookwood gets a turnover and a stop. They've got the ball with the lead, and they're 4.5 minutes away from salting this one away.
Yeah, what they did is they thought their best play was to get it to Lucky coming up across the middle of the field. Brookwood had their eye on Lucky as well, trying to give the young Georgia commit some redemption right there. Double coverage, safety comes up, makes the play. Huge play for number 4 at Brookwood.
So clearly Lucky's been their target when they wanted to throw to the end zone today. We know that. Obviously Brookwood aware of that too. And you, as you said, you had 2 guys bracketed around him. There was a little bit of contact between Lucky and Holton before the interception. And how about the turnover prop coming out? You get the money bag, you got the helmet, I should say the hat, which is reminiscent almost of the Georgia, I should say the Texas-Oklahoma game. Wow. The money's coming out. He's making it rain. I mean, are you kidding me, Jeff, with that? Noah Holton having a great time on the sideline.
I don't know, Brendan, what you like better, the Monopoly money, the money bag, or the golden hat right there, the golden Stetson right there?
Listen, I don't know that I've seen multiple props on a turnover like that. That's great to see from Noah Holton. That's a ton of fun.
Now, can they salt it away? Can they ice it away?
Cameron French on the carry on first down for Brookwood.
One of the things the Brookwood staff kind of lamented about is they don't have a very good history in the Corky Kell Classic. Not usually on the winning side of these things over the last 14 years or so. They have a chance now to be a very good Norcross team if they can kind of just make themselves stay out of trouble, just move the ball a little bit and play keep away from Norcross, Brandon, when they haven't really shown the penchant for playing keep away with the Devils on offense most of this game.
Got 8 on first down, makes it 2nd and 2. Lonergan from shotgun. Hand once again. Hit in the backfield this time. He's going to lose yardage. That was to French again. That's going to bring up 3rd down. So big opportunity for Norcross here, and for Brookwood, a first down would go a long way as we now tick under 3.5 minutes in our game. 2 of 4, game 2 of 4 today, with Walton and Mill Creek coming up next, and Marietta Grayson in our nightcap. Looking at 3 minutes left. Lonergan from the shotgun, big defensive front look from Norcross. In motion goes pro throw, hand up the middle.
Don't get it.
And he's not going to get it, stopping short. The Devils have forced a 4th down.
It's really all you can ask for out of the Blue Devils defense right now. 4th and 1. They got their RPO action look, and they weren't able to convert. And it looks like George Maloof and his Devils are going to get one more crack at this Brookwood defense.
Of course, Coach Keith Maloof and those Devils.
Correct. Duly noted. Apologize for that.
So for now, the offense for Brookwood still in the field. They're obviously just taking as much time as they can here as the play clock ticks to 5. And then Brookwood going to call a timeout right before they take that timeout. So we'll take it with them and show you 4th down right after this.
Brookwood.
We've got a fantastic finish coming in from
That's the
Mercedes-Benz
third and
Stadium.
final charge from out of the half.
Hey Atlanta, we're the #1 certified used vehicle dealer in all of Georgia. Why? Quality vehicles, fair prices, and a really fun experience. With Beaver Direct, whether you purchase a Toyota, Ford, Honda, Nissan, Chevrolet, Lexus, BMW, Subaru, they're all certified. No one else can offer you that. Every vehicle gets a 164-point inspection, meticulous reconditioning, 12-month, 12,000-mile platinum warranty. Check it out at beaverdirect.com and see for yourself why Beaver Direct is #1.
We changed our fries to make them hot and crispy every single time.
High five.
And every single time, Toby insists we high five.
High five. High five. High five. It'll catch on, right?
Try Wendy's hot and crispy fries, preferred almost 2-to-1 over McDonald's.
Life has taught you many lessons. Like one size fits all never seems to fit. That's why a Cigna Medicare plan gives you care that fits your health needs and budget. You've also learned that word of mouth means words you can trust, so you can feel confident with Cigna, because 4 out of 5 customers would recommend a Cigna Medicare Advantage plan to their friends and family. Learn more at CignaMedicare.com, because life has taught you well.
When we shed artificial expectations and choose a simple path, we feel free. Siggy Skier, full of protein, less ingredients, less sugar. Less sets you free.
Come on! Saving at the pump can be a pain. Skip the pin pad and save. Pay from your phone. And with BP Me Rewards, you can instantly get 5 cents off every gallon. Every time.
Welcome back, everybody. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the NFL home of the Atlanta Falcons. We have almost an NFL situation for you. We're almost stopped perfectly at a 2-minute warning here in our fourth quarter. We've got great drama still yet to come. Brookwood looking at a 4th down situation here right now. And they're going to
go for it.
Go for it here. How about this on 4th and short?
Maybe trying to
a little bit of a surprise coming out of the timeout. They're going to try to go for it and power ahead. And Lonergan comes through there.
Zonka.
We knew that he was a tough runner in situations like that. And he on a 4th and 2 situation lowered his shoulder in a quarterback sneak, powered his way through, and gets a huge gain all the way down to the Norcross 30-yard line. That is a back-breaking play if you're Norcross to give that up on 4th down in your own territory. But what a play by Lonergan.
Brandon, you know this team is going to go to Vegas in a couple of weeks. Well, they just rolled the dice behind their best player, Dylan Lonergan, and he cashed in a major game-defining play right there.
We'll make that your game's key first down, presented by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. And I don't know that I expected them to do that. I thought it was a foregone conclusion. They would punt coming out of the timeout because they were in their own territory. But we talked earlier about his ability to run, but specifically those quarterback sneaks. He's never had a bigger one than that.
Yeah, who dials up your quarterback sneak to go for 60 yards, 4th and 1 inside your own 30-yard line with the game on the line?
Delay game. Offense, 5-yard penalty.
And if you're Norcross, you've got to regroup. Now, just a minute 26 left in this game, but you are so close to getting the ball back with a chance to take the lead. But Lonergan doing what consensus top 10 national quarterbacks do. They have a little bit of a flair for the magic, and Lonergan certainly has that.
Brandon, there will be no more bigger bravado call in the Corky Kell Classic than the one that we just got to see right there. Goes against every grain in the football book right there, 4th and 1. Last 4 minutes of the game, and you do a quarterback sneak with your quarterback, and you bust it for 60 yards and the game.
And now Brookwood will get to go into a victory formation situation here.
I don't know, Brandon. Which one is more unlikely, that play right there or the tip drill before the end of the half?
We've had it all here today, it would seem. Or stay tuned no matter how this one concludes. We'll have players of the game, MVP
Norcross.
for both offense and defense.
That's their third and
Norcross
final
stops the clock with a timeout.
Please reset the game clock at 1, 2, 3, 1:23.
This is why we love football, right? Because of coaches like Philip Jones making decisions like that. You know, that's a courageous call. If it doesn't work, you're getting a lot of criticism. So it's a great play. We talked about that tip drill there a moment ago. Let's show you the play of the game here, presented by the Mechanical Trades Institute. This was quite a show to end the half. The intended receiver here was Massengill. It was deflected into the air by a Norcross defensive back, and that became the second touchdown of the day for Bryce Dobson, who's had quite a day today. And we joked about this, the old line that you would see on TV about knock it down, don't kick it up and give it a chance to have it turn into something. Well, that turned into the exact wrong kind of thing for Norcross, and a great touchdown by Brookwood to end the first half. and a part of what's been really a dramatic day for the Broncos.
Brandon, the one thing about that call is it's like walking a tightrope over the Grand Canyon in a rainstorm. But what you do is you separate the circumstances, the spot on the field, and I guess Coach Jones and his staff just said, we got 1 yard to win the game with Dylan and our best players on there. Let's see if we can get that 1 yard.
Brookwood kneels again. Clock now ticking, 71 seconds. You see Keith Malouf. He wears it on his face. This has been a long day for these coaches. They live, they die, the emotions with this, and obviously both these teams, much the same way we talked about yesterday in the games you did on Thursday. I think teams that, unfortunately can only be one winner, and the teams that came up on the short end of the stick, I think showed themselves to be pretty impressive. If this score holds, you feel the same way about Norcross too. They've certainly shown they're going to be a factor in 7A here this season in their region, but for Brookwood to come back from a bit of a deficit, to have the play to conclude the first half, to have a 4th down situation deep in their own territory, the conversion there, the big stop defensively with the interception, this is going to go down as quite a win for Brookwood to start the 2022 season. It's a venue they know well, a big part of every Corky Kell Classic. Have they ever had many wins, though, that have been more fun to watch than this one's been against a Gwinnett County rival in Norcross? Phillip Jones and the Brookwood Broncos are winners today. The handshakes are taking place. The sportsmanship is on full display. This is high school football at its best in the state of Georgia. And we're just getting started when it comes to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. 2 more great games to come, but more of a recap and a look back on this one right after this. Glad to have you with us on Peachtree TV and at CBS46.com.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trade unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at georgiaconstructioncareers.com.
For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
Your athletes put in the work that leads to success. But peak performance takes more. It takes a surface that works as hard as they do. One that allows them to train effectively and safely, so that when the lights come on, they're ready to win. You bring the vision, we'll bring it to life. Sports Turf.
Thinking about what to do after high school? How about jumping directly into your future? The 22 colleges of the Technical College System of Georgia offer more than 600 programs to prepare students for the real world. From business to healthcare to professional and technical services, our graduates go straight into a career. And tuition? Surprisingly affordable. At TCSG, you will succeed sooner. Apply today at succeedsooner.com.
Welcome to the Tailgate Show presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. I'm Kaylee Mansell, joined alongside Amy Everly from Coca-Cola United and Kelsey Bassett of the Technical College System of Georgia. Ladies, so excited to have you on again. It's great to see you both. Can you tell me a little bit more about your companies?
Yeah, so I am with the Technical College System of Georgia, TCSG. We have 22 technical colleges around the state, 88 campuses, and over 600 programs in all different areas. And we're going to talk a little bit about CDL today, but we have all different varieties of programs to choose from.
Yeah, well, we're excited to be here today and be a part of the Corky Kell Classic. And we definitely feel as though our Coca-Cola brands go hand in hand with football. So Coca-Cola Bottling Company United, we call ourselves Coca-Cola United. We've been in business in the state since 1916. We're actually the only bottler here within the state, which means that if you ever go in the grocery store and you see someone working on one of our displays or on the beverage aisle, that's us. That's Coca-Cola United. So we're very proud to be servicing the state in which our global headquarters resides in, the Coca-Cola Company. The Coca-Cola system as a whole has been providing or generating positive impact for Georgia for the 135 years. We employ over 9,000 Georgia residents. We have over 30 facilities throughout the state. We provide beverages to over 41,500 businesses, Georgia businesses, and those businesses provide our refreshing beverages to the 10.5 million residents here in the state of Georgia.
Well, ladies, we were so excited to hear about the recent investment of Coca-Cola into TCSG. So tell me a little bit more about that partnership.
Yes, very exciting news. And recently the Coca-Cola Company announced a $1 million contribution to TCSG. A large part of that is going to go to the commercial truck driving program throughout their footprint. We know firsthand the role that commercial truck drivers play in business and industry. Matter of fact, 82% of the total tonnage that travels the streets or travels the highways here in Georgia is done by commercial trucks. So we contribute to that every day. So it's an amazing statistic. But a part of that contribution is going to go towards some critical needs that TCSG identified. They'll be able to provide an additional 11 full-time instructors for the program and 2 part-time instructors as well. Some of that will be allocated towards scholarship opportunities as well as some recruiting and marketing efforts as well for the program. We've been partnering with TCSG for several years now, and we're excited to continue the partnership this way as well.
Ladies, I'm excited for the both of you. I think the recent investment is great on both parts. So excited for y'all, but we will be right back, and we'll see Craig with the players of the game.
Wake Up Atlanta from 7 to 9 on Peachtree TV.
It's First Alert traffic when you need it.
It's First Alert forecast to help you plan ahead.
And all the Atlanta news you need to help you plan your day.
Wake Up Atlanta from 7 to 9 only on Peachtree TV.
High school football is back and bigger than ever. 4 games, 2 days, only on Atlanta's own Peachtree TV. The Great Atlanta Bash. Next Friday and Saturday on Peachtree TV. Sponsored locally by these sponsors.
Ken Nugent Attorneys at Law are dedicated to empowering kids to discover a love of reading.
Together with CBS 46, we have handed out over 65,000 books across Metro Atlanta.
That's why we are a proud sponsor of CBS 46 Cares Books to Kids.
Back again, huh? You must love losing.
You're buying the next one.
You gotta win one first.
Okay.
Mix and match your 2 favorites for $3.29 at any size soft drink for $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hurry into Mattress Firm's best Labor Day sale ever. Shop Tempur-Pedic and save up to $700 and get a $300 instant gift. Mattress Firm is America's #1 Tempur-Pedic retailer with mattresses in stock for fast delivery. Shop Sealy and get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchase. With our Love Your Mattress guarantee, get the lowest price and 120 nights to sleep on it. Only at Mattress Firm.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. With America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway sales event. With new cars arriving daily, now's the time to get in and get away. Lease a Tucson for $259 a month or get 2.99% APR plus 3 years complimentary maintenance. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Did y'all know there's more to love at Popeyes than chicken? Well, the new Popeyes Hush Puppy Shrimp is here. With 8 pieces of our tender butterfly shrimp covered in a sweet and savory cornmeal crust. Try them now for just $6.
Tahini it.
Tahini is a delicious combination of mild chili peppers, lime, and sea salt.
Tahini it, Mom. Yeah, tahini it.
Make anything bueno more bueno. Tahini it.
You've been waiting. It's your time. Fall is coming, and it's still 80 degrees. Minor detail. Fall hard with a $3 medium pumpkin spice signature latte from Dunkin'.
ConstructionCareers.com Corky Kell Classic is sponsored by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. It's worth knowing what's really going on. 92.9 The Game, Atlanta Sports Radio. Rough Draft. Text DRAFT to 66866 to subscribe. Dog Nation. Visit DogNation.com for the latest Georgia team news and recruiting information. And by Wendy's. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Welcome to the Tailgate Show presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. We just witnessed an outstanding game. Brookwood 28, Norcross 24. Now, Dylan, you've been doing this a while, multi-year starter, and we could tell out there. You looked comfortable. You guys had the comeback, down 14 early. Just talk about your team and just what you were able to do today.
Yeah, I mean, we've came a long way. Just been grinding all summer. And just O-line really stepped up today. Receivers stepped up. The defense played fantastic, and it really just took all-around effort to make that comeback.
We'll talk about it later, that clutch touchdown before the half, but have you seen a play like that?
Doesn't have it often. Definitely a little bit of